When I was a child, my parents told me to never go past the stone line. They say the boundary lands are scarred and dangerous.
But I've been to the capital. The lands are scarred and dangerous there, too.
The people of the kingdom are scared. They're ready for change. They want to be able to dream again.
And now, for the first time in 1,000 years, an expedition is ready to leave Solvari!
We call it the Feld.
It's the size of a city, and believe it or not, it can move.
They're taking the city past the stone line?
Out in the wilderness to find a new place to live.
Sights no mortal has seen before.
Lands untouched by any hand.
We're making our dreams reality.
And forging a new path forward.
Together! You know, together.
All to find a place where we belong.
Hello, welcome to Diceburgh on 5% chance. We are here with episode 3 titled Those Gone Before, in the midst of a little bit of a murder mystery here. We are joined at the table by our fabulous players who will introduce themselves in just a moment here. Actually, why don't we do that now? So hopping around here, why don't we start Arizona?
Hey, name's Arizona. I'm again going to be playing our Kensei monk Celestina Paint, and I'm excited to be here for the evening.
Excellent. Up next, we have Steve.
Hey, it's Steve Harvey, not that Steve Harvey. I'll be playing Bayor, our Leonin Paladin. Yeah.
Amazing. Jared.
Hi, my name is
favorite kobold.
My name is Jared. I like long walks in the Marianas Trench, and it's nice to be here. Playing Big G. I love that boy.
And last but certainly not least for the evening, Brill.
Howdy. I'm Brill from Dumpstat. I am that Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
And I am. And I'm mostly here because I'm a huge fan of Kurt's TikTok. If you haven't seen it, he does some really good gamer content. Yeah. Go check that out immediately right now. He's so attractive. Also, I will be playing Arguvar Lex, the Dragonborn, who is not so attractive, but he's still a nice guy. So, it all works out. We're all hot boys here. It's great. Are you guys ready?
I would like to nominate the episode title to be changed to All Beards All the Time.
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
Yes, unfortunately, we're normally joined by our Water Ganassi druid, Rylin, who's played by our very own Erica Harding. However, she had a prior engagement and is not able to join us. So this evening, it is All Beards All the Time.
We are going to raise money to get razors for ourselves.
Yes.
Yes. We can
and give all of the hair, to Erica.
True.
So to jump in with a little recap here, if you are just joining us for the first time this week, or if you just need a little reminder of what's happened, because we are, like I said, in the midst of a murder mystery. Welcome to the world of Lore Eighth. A world where thousands of years ago, a war between dragons and mortals has left scars in the plains, and pieces of the other elemental planes have begun bleeding over into the material realm here. Our party is members of an expedition called the Feld, who are leading a vast floating city out into this dangerous and ever-shifting wilderness in order to escape the woes and the troubles of the kingdom that they are leaving behind. With a massive blizzard heading straight for the city and 2 scouting parties already missing, our team find themselves on a desperate mission in the middle of a seemingly endless swamp. Having stumbled upon the remains of a camp set up by one of those other 2 missing parties, they discovered the grim fate that met those that have gone before them, as they have begun to untangle the clues left behind. we pick up our game as the party has gathered around for freshly dug graves. Bayor standing at the head, finishing up the funeral rites. Rylin, druid, crafts vines that come up from the ground and wrap around the graves as flowers begin to bloom, which is a small, colorful moment in this gray swamp. Celestina, you notice looking at Rylin that her eyes have begun to well up with water, and as soon as the funeral rites have passed, she excuses herself and she takes a few steps away from the party and sort of puts her hand up onto a tree as she leans against it. I will recap the evidence that you all have found for our audience here. So, you found 4 bodies so far in the camp that you believe are belonging to this other scouting party. One of the bodies was pinned onto a tree with a spear. They were unnaturally gaunt and emaciated. One body that was lying nearby of a dragonborn woman was missing her arm, and she had a large stab wound through her torso as well. Nearby, you found her arm that was still clutching a shield, as well as a small leather pouch on a string. You also found on her body a small journal that you have not opened yet. Inside the tent, you found the body of what you believe to be the captain of this other party, with a large wound to the back of their head. Underneath the body, you found a blood-soaked map that Celestina looked at but was unable to get much information from at first glance. As you looked through the tent to try to see what else you could find, since everything looked like it had been tossed in search of something, you did find a journal, also that you have not opened yet. You also have found 2 trails that are leading off into the swamp. One trail leading to the northwest that is just a single set of footprints that appear to be fairly largely spaced apart, and a second trail with larger footprints that appears to be dragging something behind it heading east, as well as the swamp lotuses, these white flowers that the witch Balmora sent you to find, are blooming all over this area. And that is where we will pick it up with you all.
So I got a question about these footprints.
Sure.
The ones with the where it looks like something's being dragged behind it, do they look like typical boots and things like that, or are they like big paws and things like more creature-esque?
Go ahead and make an investigation.
Ooh, okay.
In the meantime, I'm going to turn to the rest of the party
14.
and kind of bring them in. Not fully in, like a team huddle, but close enough. We're not in huddle stage, we're in semicircle stage.
Right.
I'm going to lean forward and explain. I believe before we do anything else that we are in need of rest. Clearly, there are enemies and creatures about that are quite dangerous, but if we keep this pace up, I do not believe that I, or the rest of us, will be doing ourselves a service. I think we need to take a rest for a long while. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, long rest.
I look around the area and I say, would it be possible that we could try to go just a little bit further? I don't feel it'd be the best to probably rest here as I kind of look at the graves.
What, are they going to kill us twice?
It seems a little bit foreboding to camp where the others had died.
I watched Big G before giving my answer.
What'd you say?
I said I watched Big G before giving my answer.
I rolled a 14.
14. They appear to be human tracks. The boots or humanoid tracks. Mm-hmm. The boots that they are wearing are in some sort of disrepair, from what you can tell on the tracks. But that they're only do appear to be one set of footprints with something dragging behind it.
You can see the boots are not in good condition. You can see like 2 toes poking through in each little step. So it's definitely humanoid.
I take a quick glance at, because we've taken the clothes off of the bodies here. I take a quick glance at the boots of the people who were there, in the camp. What state do they look like they're in?
The boots from everyone else that you've gathered and stripped of all their belongings appear to be in fairly good condition. I mean, they're muddy as your boots are from traveling through the swamp. But you'll recall the scouting parties having just recently, left on this expedition. Your boots are fairly, pretty much brand new.
A question, I guess, also for the state of the environment. I'm assuming that this is dry land. We're on like a raised bed for the tents to be set up. Have we been traveling through large swaths of dried sections where we could easily find another place to set up a camp?
There's not, they're not too far apart. You have been traveling for the most part through like at least ankle deep, if not deeper water. This particular area is like a little raised hill where a ring of trees on the outside protects the tents from immediate view. It's a very like well hidden area, which is probably why the other scouting party picked it. But if you wanted to, you could probably find another area fairly close by.
Yeah, then I would answer, Celestina, if you are uncomfortable making camp here, I would honor that request, but I would ask that we camp somewhere within the sight of this place.
I agree to that. Come on. And I kind of just like, to kind of break the tension a little bit, I kind of spring up a little bit more and slap my thighs and say, all right, let's get our things and let's go ahead and get set up, okay? And I kind of look to Big G and looking to Rylin as well to kind of just like invite more of an air to like, let's pep in our step, let's just get away from this for a moment.
Yeah, let's continue on. We'll find a nice little grove somewhere, and we'll you know what? I'll set up a nice fire for all of us.
Perfect.
You see Rylin sort of shakes her head as she's been staring out into the fog and turns back to you and she goes, yes, that sounds nice.
Perfect. And I, with Big G, and I assume Rylin, just kind of start gathering some of our supplies. I'm definitely going to grab a few of the flowers on the way out. And I say, Big G, look, aren't these pretty? I think these are what the Lady Mamora was looking for.
Oh, yeah, let me, and I flip to the back of my spell book, and I just put them in there and press them down.
Can I actually roll Arcana on these flowers? Just because I'm starting to put 2 and 2 together that we've only found flowers amongst a bunch of corpses, which probably means they're sinister flowers for a woman who's already summoned Banderhobs. I don't know why that all just fit right there.
She's a sinister woman.
No, she just wants to make more tea.
Out of people.
No. Respect that.
Oh no, wait.
Yeah, this is Rocky Horror, man. Come on. Don't feed the plants.
All right. May I roll that, DM?
Yeah, either Arcana or Nature I'll accept.
Ooh, am I better at Nature? No, I'm not.
Why did I say Rocky Horror? Whatever. You know.
Hey, DM, that is a 3.
It's a really pretty flower.
Hell yeah, dude. I don't know why, but I'm imagining him picking it up into like in the shape of a skull, and then the skull opens up and there's like a little stem that flecks out and flickers, and I'm like, that's so pretty.
To help us gather some.
It's not quite as sinister. The flower that you pick is a simple white lotus. There honestly doesn't appear to be much remarkable about it at first glance.
No reverse Latin chanting or anything like that.
No.
It's a flower. Okay, good to know. It's definitely evil,
like
but
it's
I
not
can't
like
sense
coursing
it.
with veins.
It's not demonic with little horns. Okay, I got you.
It actually has a halo.
Yeah. It sings choir. It's like, oh, as you hold it.
So as you are leaving, the camp here, which direction are you headed?
So my thought process is that some person was dragging things to the east, right? It was the east that was being dragged. And then to the northwest, they're a little bit spaced out, which means they were probably running.
Booking it, yeah.
Which means they're probably running from something. If we go to the east, at least we have a humanoid that, yeah, if they're not good, we could deal with them. But, you know.
And we don't know if they were dragging something alive, dead, or useless.
I take a quick glance. Are there any markings on the trees? The ones that we'd been following to get here, are there any markings in either direction?
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
All right. Oh, man. 10 total.
10. You do not find any markings or any, like, the X's that you were following don't appear on any of the trees leaving this campsite.
All right. I don't see a reason not to defer to you. Lead on, little man.
I would suggest east.
I would say I would lead, but we're gonna hit swamp. I guarantee it. Can I hop on somebody's shoulder?
You can dictate the direction from the shoulder, I suppose.
All right, and as you are leaving the swamp, I need your marching order as well as a survival check from whoever's taking the lead.
Can I like make a minor illusion as we go that like and try to continually point it east, like following the tracks?
I can take the front if there's nobody who's gonna jump in front. I don't
mind taking a little bit of a lead.
You want to go for it? Go for it.
Give it a shot. I'll risk it for that biscuit.
Yeah.
You said survival check?
Yeah, and I'm gonna say Big G give me a survival check.
Okay, sweet. I'm not good at those, but I'll
to
try.
see if his illusion points the right direction. They're like, Big G, your arrow's pointing north.
That's perfect. That's an 8 minus 1, 7.
7. You pull up this minor illusion of an arrow that you try to keep as steady as you can as you are like going over and around things and turning. You try to keep it as close as you can to eastwise. If you would like to follow your arrow here. And I'm sorry, the marching order was Celestina. You were first. Who is behind?
I'll be on Celestina.
Yeah, Big G was on my shoulders.
Okay.
Celestina, where you going? It's to the left. No, you're right. It's to the right. Okay.
Putting Arguvar in the middle and then me in the rear. I'm also holding the breastplate and the shield, kind of like in a sling on my back.
Okay.
Because I did want to return that.
If I'm in the middle, you're definitely going to hear Arguvar just very mumbling under his breath go, I don't know why we have to take so much time for bodies. They're just bodies. Like, he's having like this little moment of just like, oh, it's a ritual for no reason. A man who's decked out only in ritual, by the way. It's great.
And Arguvar, you would hear, or you would notice Arguvar and Bayor as Rylin takes the spot in between you two. You notice there's definitely something about this encounter that has shaken Rylin. She's unusually quiet. She's not her like chipper, happy self. She keeps like sort of darting off and looking into the swamp in certain moments, like whenever there's like a little branch or an insect, she's jumping at it a little more. Celestina, I'm sorry, what was that survival check?
14.
I just heard 14. Okay, excellent. Yeah, it takes you a little bit of time, but you are able to, I'll say about 1.5 miles from the camp, you're able to find another raised portion that is large enough that if you wanted to, you could set up a couple of tents that's also in the shelter of a larger tree that has some branches hanging down to give you some camouflage.
And are the tracks continuing or did they die out?
No, so you following the tracks, this person was not taking care to cover them at all.
Mhm.
You lose them in the water, and it takes you a little bit of time to like search some of the dry land in the surrounding areas. However, with spending a little bit of time, you're able to continue and follow the trail that's left by this thing dragging behind it. I'll say by the time you find this patch of land, it's probably 5 or 6 in the evening at this point.
Mhm. Okay.
I still
look
say we're
around
going the wrong way. The arrow's pointed behind us.
How? Oh, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, I just look at the space and look at Arguvar. Will this do?
It's fine to me. I'm going to, as soon as we kind of get into this space, I'm going to take my sword out, put it in the ground, kind of crisscross applesauce. Arguvar is asleep. He is out cold.
He has been holding on by a thread, not telling anyone.
He's just... At first you think it's clearly meditation, and then deep dragonborn snoring emanates from this man.
I'm just gonna go up and just like wave my hand in front of Argivar's face and just be like, "That's incredible! Oh my goodness!" Like
that is a fair trick.
I usually, you know what? I'll congratulate him in the morning on that. That's amazing.
Big G, do you want to get that fire started?
Yeah. I'll start gathering supplies and making a little campfire.
Yarek, how are you doing? As I look to our
that's right,
our captain. If he's still,
I was not really sure if he was still with us. I thought maybe there was like a.
I thought I might have
nowhere else he can be. We can't leave him in the woods. He'll die.
Yarek has been following along, just nursing a massive migraine, and similarly to Bayor, like he gets to this little campsite and is just like collapsed against a tree, just like almost comatose. Rylin as well is not doing very well. She has gone off on her little own, and she has sat down with her staff against a tree and is, unlike Arguvar, has actually gone into some meditation.
Can I maybe do a brief medicine check before openly asking him to see if he has any open wounds?
Sure, yeah, go for it.
All right. I have a +2 on that. Okay. That's a 20. That's a 20.
Excellent.
It slid right up on in there. That's going to be the only one of the night.
As you go over to Yark, he sort of looks up at you and is like, what would you like?
To know what's the matter.
My head. It feels like I can't think without my head pounding.
What do you remember?
It's difficult.
Think back. We were entering the swamp, and you heard something, and you ran off. What happened after that?
I found a woman in the swamp, and she attacked me.
You were brave to do that.
And
how did she attack you?
And you can see he's like shaking his head as like the images almost you can see flash and play in his eyes, and he goes, her jaw, there was something not right about her, and she attacked me, and then I forgot, and she attacked again, and then things went dark, and I woke up alone in the swamp. And you are all my party.
Yes.
I perk up a little bit more if hearing him say that. A little bit more recognition.
I snore louder.
Arguvar, actually, as you snore, you have a dream, a very vivid dream, about this time when you were younger, when you were being taught lessons by the mother, and you got a question correct, and you turned over at a fellow classmate and you went, "Meh." This is the same memory that you had lost to the Oblex spawn when you had tried to feed it. You have this dream of this memory very vividly coming back to you as you sleep.
Does that wake me or no?
Yeah, I'll say that gives you a little bit of a, and you come awake.
I awaken, I stand, I throw my sword on the ground. I'm like, listen to me. Team huddle. As I march forward.
I was just very.
I tell the captain. I tell the captain one
shoot
moment,
a firebolt
and then
into
come
the
over.
fire. Get it started.
Just look up and
the memory that was lost to me. The memory that was taken from our little. Did you bring out the tiny thing? The little thing, the tiny thing, the goo.
I reluctantly reach into the bag, and I'm while holding on to him, like, you mean this?
That goo, yes. The memory that it took from me, I just remembered it.
Oh, wait. How
It's
do you
not
remember?
permanent. You ever remember something that you just forgot?
Yes.
Like every day,
But
So-
not something so deep as a memory that you had.
Wait, but then if this thing stole your memory, how did you get it back?
That's what I'm saying. I think it's not permanent. I don't
So
think
it's
it's stealing memories. It's only stealing memory for a time.
So
I
it
don't think
suppresses
it's
them.
necessarily evil.
We kind of hold the bottle. I'm looking at it. So it suppresses your memory as opposed to stealing it? What?
That's my running theory. Now I might go back to bed and have more dreams. Everybody be wary. And I'm going to turn around, sit down, and go right back to sleep.
The next time... Oh, well, he's out.
I look to Arguvar and I look to Big G and I hold this bottle. I'm like, yeah, okay. But this does that. Yeah, I'm not really unbelieving it. Not really understanding how any of this works. How anything could work like that.
I trust him. Full-heartedly.
How would something even steal memories? What? I guess it
mean,
works, but
Well, think about this. Like a year and a half ago, I couldn't do this, and I just like make the dancing gerbil again, like appear, and I go, I don't know how this works. It just does, and yeah. I mean, what if there's things that could steal your brain juices? Like
The second a gerbil happens, you see me shudder just for a second.
You remember in the swamp, when we were attacked by those creatures, one of them took the face of our captain. They could be using the memories in order to gain trust, in order to gain their face. And then when that use has expired, they give them back.
I'm kind of just
Almost
looking at this thing.
like when a chameleon, or whatever a creature of a chameleon would be in this campaign setting, takes...
Chameleons exist.
Okay. All right, good.
Canon,
Chameleons
that's the
exist.
deep lore.
Like canon. They're canon now.
Canon chameleons exist in Lorien.
It's good
They're
that those
humanoids
exist
even.
because otherwise we would be like the wobbler monkey of the south. You have to go like, yes, of course.
Like the lemur, which only exists in Madagascar. Anyway, yeah, like a chameleon who steals the color of a leaf. When it moves away from the leaf, it gives the color back.
I didn't know they did that.
That's how chameleons
really
work?
Well, I have an intelligence of 9. That's definitely how he assumes it works.
I have an intelligence of 8. I've never even heard of a chameleon, so I'm
I
just
have
going
a really
to
high wisdom.
Would I know what a
I'm
chameleon
boasting
is,
off of
Kurt?
wisdom now.
Would I know what a chameleon is?
Big G, no. Big G, you would not know what a chameleon is.
Listen, this is not a Wild Kratts episode.
Is this like a large creature? Is this like a big dog, like that? What was it called? A horse?
I mean, like if it's stealing leaves in color, I assume it's some form of vegetarian. So probably a horse.
What we've learned so far: possums.
Know if I know what a chameleon is. Am I allowed to roll for that?
Go ahead. I'm gonna say Big G no because you spent all of your life in the Underdark.
Yeah,
yeah. Go ahead.
You see a chameleon in your dreams, Arguvar.
I am terrified right now.
I'm
like, there's creatures that just change colors?
What is this? I've rolled twice tonight, and both of them have been a 3. Do I know what a chameleon is with a 3?
You do
I know I'm asleep, but I'm still curious.
No.
Are you rolling with D&D Beyond? Because I'm just going to say you're probably not going to have a good night if you've done double 3s on D&D Beyond.
Last time I was playing.
It's either hot or cold on that website.
Right.
That's
yes,
you're
not
not going to have a good night. I'm just saying right now. Don't lean on Arguvar for anything tonight.
I'm sticking to it, especially during these naps.
But
wait a second. I just realized I'm gonna cast disguise self on myself, just to change from a red hue to a green hue. I just go, "Am I a chameleon?"
No, because you didn't steal that from a leaf.
And I just pull out slowly the lily that I put into the book. And I go, oh my goodness.
I'm really worried that my intelligence of 13 makes me an intellectual titan in this world.
Yes, you're gonna wake up. You're gonna wake up, and all of us are gonna be screaming at each other just over the fire. Ah! And you're like, I want to sleep for 5 minutes, and you're waking up screaming about chameleons.
I live in a world where knowing a chameleon, if it exists or not, is the barometric test of intelligence. Where you see this lizard, you know it, idiot.
No. The chameleon is clear the wizard lore test right before you hit Archmage. Right before it's just in your studies.
What's that?
Have you ever come across this creature? And then you go, no. And then it's get out. You're not worthy.
I can't wait for
It's in the ABCs of Wizardry book. Yeah.
So
40 episodes from now when Kurt's just and in this cage next to this Archmage is this weird creature with eyes that move all around, and we're all just gonna be like, there it is!
But
so Bayor, to answer your question, as you look over Yarg's body to see if there are any open wounds, I did not forget about that. We've just gone off into a long tangent. He tells you he doesn't think so. He scratched himself climbing up the tree, and sure enough, you do see what appears to be a small scratch over his arm. Actually on the inside of his bicep, probably as he reached up for a next branch as he scurried up the tree. But there don't appear to be any other big wounds on his body.
That is odd. The creature that we have examined and put in a jar for further study wounded Arguvar slightly and drew blood. You said that a creature attacked you, a woman attacked you, and you forgot your memories. And when we found you, you had forgotten us. One would assume that you've also been attacked by this creature of the swamp. We don't quite know what may happen from this injuries, which is why you saw our associate here wake up in a start. You may also experience this startling news. Your memories return to you. I will watch you for a time, however. If, for whatever reason, you start to see things that don't appear natural, or if you see that we look to be violent towards you, I want you to wrap your fists against the tree as hard as you can to signal to us that something is happening, because you may not be able to trust yourself to speak. Can you do this for me?
I just say a 7-foot-tall lion man going, I'm going to watch you tonight is probably the scariest fucking thing I've ever seen. I'm going to watch you tonight.
Yarrick, he doesn't really respond verbally. He nods. And then he makes his way to his feet, sort of bracing himself on your shoulder, and goes, I'm going to set my pack up. If this headache leaves me, I'll take whatever visions this thing gives me.
Because I didn't expel all of my points last time for my healing hand, and with my medicine check, is he missing any hit points right now?
He's a little banged up, yeah.
All right, I put my large lion paw on his shoulder then, and say, rest well, and give him healing points up to full.
Cool. You see the wound on his arm heals up, and he looks up at you and goes, "Thank you. I remember I don't think I was very kind to you. I'm sorry."
I am a man who judges someone not by their words but by their actions. And what you have done now proves to me more than what you have said.
Kiss him.
I would like to walk over and be like, Yarrick, if you're headed to bed, I set something up for you over here. And I'm gonna lead him over, and I've set up my hammock. I'm gonna be like,
hammock.
If you well, it's comfortable. I've slept in it for the past year, and it's a little banged up, but it'll help you get to rest. You can have it for the night.
You do that for me.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've been through a lot, and you deserve something good right now.
Is this a crusty hammock?
I'm gonna say
good care of my hammock. Thank you very much. It's not a large hammock.
That's what I was thinking.
Climbs into it. He's a little oversized for it, but given that you all are in a swamp, it is probably the most comfortable spot that he's gonna find to sleep.
Off the ground.
Lay sideways. If you lay straight across, you'll cut off your circulation and lose in your legs. Yes. Bayor, do you want any company on the watch tonight? I'm not really that tired. I mean, you all did most of the fighting today.
Are we not all taking turns keeping watch? Is that not what we were going to do, I assume?
Oh, I figured we'd take shifts together.
Mm-hmm.
Buddy system.
Yes, assuming, if we do... Yeah, that's fine. I think if we just split it 2 and 2.
Don't have that many people to make sure. We got to make sure everyone can get enough rest, though. So
yeah.
I mean, we have people for 3 shifts. I mean, we have me and Bayor, and then you and Arguvar could take it, and then Rylin and Yarrick take the last one.
Yeah.
And then the last 2 hours.
And we don't need to worry about those. I'm sure we'll be fine.
Hey, what? I'll just take a shift by myself. There's no need to worry about it. But I'll either have to do it earlier or in the morning, as I have a harder time seeing at night.
Oh my goodness! You could paint the sunrise in the swamp. You should take the early one.
Have we seen any light? Like, has it been just have we seen the sun or anything? Or, can we see the stars or the moon or anything right now? Or is the fog still over us?
Make an insight check, everyone.
Oh God.
But DM, I'm dreaming of sugar plums.
Oh, except you, Arguvar.
Easy. 9.
Oh, dude, sick. 9.
Hey, awesome. 7.
Oh, dude, we are rolling hot tonight. I like it.
We know what's going on.
It is difficult to tell. The fog in the swamp has obscured your view of the sun, and it has appeared as if there's been this almost steady amount of light that has persisted all day long.
Let me tell you, that sunrise is gonna be beautiful. Think about all the colors you could use.
Okay. I'll take the morning then. But will you guys be alright handling the night then? And just wake me up whenever you're tired?
That works for me. What about you, Bale?
That seems fair. Stay close to the fire, and if anything happens, make a lot of noise.
I plan on it, and I can do both.
All right. I hope this session doesn't turn into a hunting down Celestina in the middle of the swamp.
I lay down my bedroll and I put my mess kit near me, so that way I can hit it just in case I need to make noise.
Blink, 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 blink.
Do you just see Kurt just throw a big old notebook away? Like, I'll run to him. The next 20 minutes.
I'm not going to use this.
Yeah, I settle into the night by the fire. Or at least for the
first
for my
shift
show.
is me and Big G then.
Big G and Bayor, as you take first shift, give me perception checks.
I'm gonna watch Bayor for a little bit to see how he's posing up, because he's a very intimidating person. So I'm just gonna try to emulate that intimidation.
I'm going to look towards the direction that our that old camp was. All right, 17.
I'm too worried about being intimidating.
17 plus 2, 19.
Oh, sorry.
19.
You said perception? That's a 1 minus 1.
My eyes are closed the entire time.
Were you asleep, my man?
So, Big G, as you like posture up next to Bayor, trying to look intimidating, you two take your first watch.
How about the Mets? Am I right?
The other members of the party quickly fall asleep.
Okay.
Bayor, as you stare off, and you have dark vision, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm a cat.
And you have the campfire here as well. But as you stare off into the darks of the swamp, it's unusual. You're put off by how little you can see out there. The light from the sun, still setting here, hasn't gone down yet. But you're used to being able to see much, much more. And as you take this first watch, you're looking out, and you hear out in the swamp a large snap of a twig. And as you dart your eyes in that direction, it's hard to see out in the fog, but you do see what appears to be ripples in the water coming from that area.
How far away?
A good, probably 70 or 80 feet at this point.
Okay. I thump Big G, a little tap on his head.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was playing with the gerbil.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
Not everything is asleep tonight.
What do we listen? Wait. There was something? Like, what's going on?
So far, it's just movement. Nothing else. Keep your wits about you.
Will do.
And as you post up for the rest of the evening, you sit by the fire. It's a tense quiet that falls over a lot of the camp.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
After Bayor points this out, would I get a general area of like where it was?
Oh yeah, sure.
Bayor, would you? I'm gonna ask you first because I tend to act on instinct. Are we trying to stay low and quiet and make sure this doesn't come near us, or do we want it to like? Do we want to get a glimpse of it before anything happens? Because I could do something from like a far distance, and then maybe we get a glimpse and know what we're dealing with.
Okay. Not because he's seeing this as an opportunity to do so, but because this is like precisely the reason why he's going to suggest the next thing. He's just gonna start. When I was a young squire, I went traveling outside of Solbari. I went into a dark forest. And while there, I traveled somewhere that I had never seen. It was a world outside our own. I didn't know it yet. There are creatures there, full of dark and shadow, but also of life, constantly eating each other. It was a wild place, full of magic and mystery. But I learned something while there. Just because you hear something doesn't mean it need hear you. We should keep our quiet and our space. It may well be something that knows we're here and will not venture closer. But if it does, we will be ready.
It's very commendable. Thank you. And I'll just sit, and I'm just gonna keep an eye out.
Okay. And as your watch draws on, it's a tense couple of hours. It's hard to keep track of time. Bayor, you notice the sun, the light doesn't seem to change. It doesn't seem to grow dimmer as the night draws on. It makes it, you sit there and it's almost like you're waiting for time for the sun to set before you realize how much time has passed. Before you realize that what you're glancing at is the small ball of sun through the fog and the clouds hasn't changed position in the sky all day long.
Do I know your actual name? Or have you just introduced yourself as Big G?
Oh, it would have been just Big G. As my friends call me Big G.
All right. Big G.
Oh, yeah. What's up?
How long have we been in these woods?
Oh, what, like a day, I would say.
Long enough for the orb of light, the sun, to change, yes?
I will look towards the orb of light.
And Big G, as you do so, that it dawns on you too. It has not changed position in the sky all day.
Oh, well, that's interesting. It doesn't typically do that, right? Is this like a holiday? I heard about those things.
In some, well, no, he's not intelligent enough to know that. No.
Okay, well, truthfully, I think this is some information we should probably just hang on till morning, if we could call it that. But then, we should bring it up to people when they each wake up.
Right. So then what I will be doing then to try to keep time, so in like religious faiths and like the original like medieval faiths of like saying Hail Marys, like you say 9 Hail Marys and then you like drink something and all that kind of stuff, that was like historically to tell time for certain things. Like you would stir something while saying 9 Hail Marys, and it was like a very specific verse, and it was like by the time you said 9 Hail Marys, it would have passed like 20 minutes or whatever it was. So I'm going to try to tell time by repeating a prayer to myself. And knowing like this one, like 13 Hail Aethers is going to pass like 20 minutes. and I am just going to do that.
Sure. And it's easy enough to do because you're not trying to be like precise. You don't need to be very precise, so it's easy enough to keep an approximate flow of time. And a couple hours pass as you near the end of your first watch. The rest of your party appears to be very soundly asleep. Big G, you do notice Yorick is having a rough night in the hammock. He's tossing and turning, and his face is covered in sweat.
I wish I could do something, but I can't. You know what? No. I'm just gonna like walk up and take like a piece of garment that I have and just dab his head and make sure that he has water next to him and keeps cool and just take care of him.
Sure.
Probably that he doesn't know this. I'm going to ask Big G, but he's from the Underdark. I don't know if he's going to know. But the thing that's hanging on Bayor's mind is the thing where they said they're real. Was it in markings or something like that in the camp that we found?
It was in the sketchbook that Celestina looked through. Yeah.
Okay, then he's just going to ask Big G. Big G, do you know of any fairy tales of a sort, where there's creatures that don't exist in our plane of existence?
Would I have any concept of that?
Make an Arcana check.
Okay.
Like, what are the unicorns in a world with unicorns?
13.
13. I'm sorry. Repeat the question for me.
So, like, basically, in this world, sorry to spoil it, everybody, but Santa doesn't actually exist. But in the D&D world, Santa could exist. So, like, if someone was
That's
saying...
how they found out.
If someone was saying they're real, that would imply that they assumed that something that is in existence they thought was like widely accepted as this doesn't exist. So like his question is like, do you know of any creatures in any kind of fairy tale that don't actually exist in our world? Like
mythological creatures.
Right.
Yeah, mythological creatures.
Not just
Now
in
I'm
a
just
realm of
picturing-
mythology.
Yeah. There's
I keep
just heard
picturing
about
a kid walking out of a house, just wide-eyed, going like, "He's real, and Santa Claus." is in the window.
And to be clear, the phrase was "it's real," not theirs. They're real. Not
Either,
I don't know if that changes any subtext for you.
I don't think so. I think it's like, okay, but in a world where, this is very meta, but in a world where everything that we think of as myth is real, what is myth to a land of myth? Crazy. But that's my question.
This creature that steals the color from leaves.
And
would I know anything? 13.
13. I'm gonna say most of the creatures that you are aware of in the Underdark are alarmingly real.
Oh yeah.
Like you guys have more issues to worry about in the Underdark than mythological creatures.
Bayor asked me that, and I go, God, I fucking wish. Oh my god.
You're explaining like chameleons to him, and he just sees a mind flayer in his mind, and he's like, "It's way worse."
These, all these creatures are just like horrible.
Right, I guess like his world would be my world of like mythology of like, oh, I don't even know. Mind flayers are just tales, and he's like, nah, mind flayers are real, bro.
It's like if somebody told me a flower bloomed and healed all wounds, I'd be like, what the fuck? No, that can't exist. Come on.
Flowers eat people. What are you talking
Flowers.
about?
Yeah.
And as you were having this conversation about mythological creatures, you both hear the sound of something coming out of water, like something emerging from water.
Okay.
I'm gonna prepare my finger guns.
Okay. I'm assuming the rest of the sleeping party is right by the fire.
Mhm.
Where's Rylin?
She's on a tree close by to the fire.
Okay.
She's fallen asleep, leaning against the tree.
Okay. I will stand by the fire with my back to the flame, looking out at where the sound is, just to see if I can discern what it was.
Make a perception check.
Okay. It's 8 plus 2 is 10.
Speaking of monsters and myth, here is a myth. Here is a kraken. You're welcome.
Bayor, now that you are looking out over the swamp, the flame from the campsite is casting a lot of shadows, and they're dancing across the trees. And as you're trying to see where it might have come from, your eyes keep being drawn, and it seems to be the flames of the fire, the shadows cast by the fire that keep drawing your attention, and you're not able to really see anything out there right now.
Was the sound of the water closer to us than the stick?
I will say yes.
Okay. I then am going to do Daunting Roar. That's probably going to wake up the rest of the party. It's literally the roar of a lion, but it also does... Where am I? Boop, boop. Bonus action, it's a DC 13 or become frightened. That's a wisdom saving throw. To anything in the area.
On it, boss.
Including me.
All creatures? Let me see.
Natural 20 on your wisdom save. I'm not afraid of a lion.
As a bonus action, creatures. It says creatures of your choice.
Okay.
I will say for sure you are all woken up by this roar that is bellowing out. Bayor, as you let out this roar, you hear through the swamp the sound, two very distinct sounds of water splashing. And shortly after, you hear one splash coming from one side of the swamp, another splash comes from another side of the swamp. There's a little bit of a still moment as you're darting around. Your other party members now like, what the? And as the entire camp wakes up, you hear a couple of large padding footsteps before there's another splash of water.
I'm gonna cast Minor Illusion just in the middle of the campsite to make like a blaring siren that just goes whoop whoop whoop.
Large G, I do not know how this helps.
I was just making sure people are awake. I'm sorry.
We're waking up.
Yeah, and you are all wide awake. Startled awake at this point in time. As the nothing appears to be coming out of the swamp.
Okay.
What's happening? What's going on? As I'm slowly banging pots together and then realizing, oh wait, no, that's not what the procedure is right now. What's going on? What's happening?
I have reason to believe Balmora's guests think they've been invited to tea. There's been
What
water
direction are they coming from?
What? Oh, the frogs!
Yes, I motion to the two sides where I've heard the splashing from, and from the breaking of sticks, and then the closer splash of water and the padding of feet. I'm assuming on dry land.
I was just going to say, I go over to one of those ends and kind of look down. Do I immediately see anything kind of coming up on us?
Not immediately. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
You got it, sir. I need to be perceiving that. Oh God, D&T Beyond, you son of a gun!
I'm telling you,
that
you're
is
not
going
to have a good
8
8. There doesn't appear to be anything. You can clearly tell the water is still rippling and coming back to a stillness as something has moved through this water. But you don't see anything in this immediate area coming.
Can I try to guesstimate where it might be in the water? Take out my ceremonial boomerang and huck it as hard as I can.
You have a boomerang?
Sure.
You won't for long.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and make an attack at disadvantage here.
Hell yeah, dude. Boomerang.
Ceremonial boomerang is exactly at 180 degrees. Surprise, it's a knife, and he throws it.
That at disadvantage is going to be a 14.
Okay.
It's supposed to be a 22, but not that precise.
As you take out your ceremonial boomerang and try to find a spot in the water, you release it. It makes a large splash in the water as the water, sends a wave and ripples casting out, redisturbing the water. But you don't. There's no fish that float to the top. There's no body. There's no reaction from beneath the water.
I'm gonna walk down. Shit, and I'm gonna try to pick up my boomerang that I just chucked in the water. Is that okay? There's absolutely gonna be like a shark man right there.
I'm going to stand near Arguvar because
that's
I know
okay.
he's tired, and I just want to make sure he's gonna be fine.
Yeah, he's like groggy. Just
Arguvar, what's your AC?
My AC is very hittable. If you're just wondering,
can you fit that in the little bubble?
By the way, DM, before you hit me, because I know you're gonna hit me, because this is stupid enough to hit, absolutely. But my question is, am I full rested or short rested?
We're short rested. You have not gotten a full rest.
Yep.
Good to know. That is a 16.
Okay. It rolled a 2, so you're okay. But Arguvar, as you lean down and pick your boomerang up out of the water, you trace your eyes forward a little bit, and in the murky water you see there are these 2 eyes with horizontal pupils that blink at you underneath the water, and then there's a mouth that opens up and an enormous body of a Banderhob erupts from the water. You're able to toss yourself back, landing on your hands and your feet, your hands and your butt pretty much, as you scurry back up to your feet.
You look at everybody and be like, I found them. I'm going to take out my sword.
Do I see him after he points him out?
Oh yeah. There's a 10-foot tall frog dripping in swamp water. There are reeds and pieces of like grass that are hanging off of it. It's covered in mud, as it has a mouth that Big G could easily swallow you whole.
I'm gonna look at Arguvar and be like, Arguvar, get ready, and I'm gonna cast Maximilian's Earthen Grasp on it. It must make a strength saving throw.
Okay.
Which you're probably good at.
I know what's wrong with it. Ain't got no gas in
it rolled a 19.
That passes, but
just bursts out of the earth.
That's it.
But I'm gonna charge in because I thought it worked. Because he said get ready, and I'm gonna be like,
but right now, out of like earthy, muddy rock, there's just a giant fist next to it.
Oh yeah, dude.
Awesome. I'm gonna say roll initiative here as you all are launching into the attack.
Woo!
Yay!
Master, I'm going to run to the bathroom for a moment, if that's okay, while you're getting initiative.
That
is allowed.
Yeah, I have to. let's go ahead. I know it's a little bit early. Let's take our 10-minute break here because we might be getting into combat, and that's a longer thing. So let's take a little 10-minute break here. Like I said, a little early, but I didn't expect to get into combat this soon. So here we go. Yeah, we will see y'all back very shortly at 8:50 as we roll initiative on the Banderhobs.
Oh my
So stay tuned. Take a look. And welcome back. We are right about to fight us some Banderhobs here, which, in case you don't know, are 10-foot tall, monstrous frogmen. And we are rolling initiative. So, could I get anyone above a 20?
I got a 20, sir.
You got a 20.
Natural, but I got a 20.
All right.
Girl.
Arguvar's ready to take some names.
Anyone 15 to 20?
17.
I got an 18.
All right. There you are. And then G. Oh, I need to roll for Rylin. Okay, fitting. I'm sorry? Oh, I'm having a hard time hearing you, Arizona.
We're good. I don't think Rylin is going to be in the combat or not, but yeah, we're good.
Yeah, I have her character sheet pulled up. It should be in here. Celestina, what'd you roll?
11.
11. All right. Okay. So as we start here, Arguvar, you do not have much time to catch your footing before the Banderhob is barrowing down in front of you as you see it rears back its head and it launches its tongue at you. That is a 10 to hit.
That will miss.
So you quickly roll out of the way as you see the tongue lands, and it lands with such an impact that there's a little of the dirt and a small dent as you see it lash its tongue back in. Bayor and Big G, you were both next to Arguvar as this was happening. Celestina, where were you over there with them?
I was by the fire.
You're by the fire.
Yeah, just getting up.
Celestina, you by the fire, as you're getting up, you look across and you see as Yarick is trying to scramble and get out of the hammock. There is another figure that has emerged from the swamp behind him, and it lunges forward into the light of the flame, and it's another Banderhob. And you see it lash out and get actually caught in the hammock as Yarick just spinning out of it, and its head is caught in the hammock as it's thrashing as Yarick is scampering across the ground towards the fire trying to get out. As this happens,
it wasn't crusty now, but it is now.
All your old crusty scales fell out of that thing while it was getting thrashed about. All your dust.
Big G's feeling some type of rage right now.
Big G dropped
ripped. You're gonna
that
cry.
is a natural 20 , Celestina.
To hit?
Yes. As you
hit.
are looking at, shocked as you see this, you feel an impact on your shoulder as something wet and sticky has just hit you. You take 12 points of damage.
Damn.
It's necrotic damage, and I need you to make a strength saving throw, please.
Ooh,
All right.
Hobbs be nasty.
There's some ambush predators right there.
Celestina, as you look down, you see this pink mucusy thing that's attached to your shoulder, and you trace it back to the mouth of one of these Banderhobs, and then you feel it reel you in as you're dragged off of your feet, and the next thing you know, you are staring it right in its face as it's looming over you. It reels its tongue back in as it glares down at you with this hungry smile. That is the Banderhob's turn. That brings us to Arguvar.
There's a hob in front of me, right, bro?
There's a hob right. Well, no, it's about 10 feet in front of you as it launched its tongue at you.
There's a motherfucking hob 10 feet in front of me.
10 feet in front of you, there's a hob.
Dude, I want to be taking hob grease from out of my fingernails for weeks. I want to grapple this son of a gun.
Okay. Make that athletics check.
He is going toe-to-toe with a toad.
Toe-to-toe with a toad.
Athletics. Okay. Let's see where it goes. All right. Dungeon Master, that's a 9 to grapple a hob.
You, Arguvar, rush forward into this hob's face as you try to grab a hold around its waist. But this hob, it is a thick boy. It is hard to get your arms around it, and you can't really get purchase as you feel it kind of pick you up and not toss you far away, but push you off of it a little bit.
Okay, so the spirit was willing, but the body was much too much.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that my next attack will actually cut his flesh. You want to try some stuff. That's it for me, bud.
That's it for you? Okay. Baylor, that brings us to you.
So Big G and Arguvar are down the hill towards the coast. I'm going to charge towards the one that just latched on to Celestina then.
Okay.
And be pulling out the greatsword and getting ready for that smite. And saying, "You are not welcome here!" And just going in for a huge hit.
Sure. Yeah, I'll say you can cover that ground. Go ahead and make that attack as you come up next to Celestina here.
16. What is my... I've never attacked. Let me see what my bonuses are. +5. 16 + 5. 21.
Oh, that'll hit, yeah.
All right, so adding smite, that's 3d6. 2 6s and a 3. 15 +3.
I don't think I got my
17,
boomerang
18.
back.
That is 18 points of damage.
I did. They always
18,
come
you
back.
said?
Mm-hmm. And I am using Searing Smite. I don't know if that does anything extra.
Should.
Next time you hit a creature with melee weapon, your weapon fires white hot intensity, so it's just 1d6 fire damage. At the start of each of its turns, you must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, it takes an additional 1d6 fire damage.
Okay.
It can also use its action to put out the flames. Or jump in water.
Where will it find water, though?
I don't know. Obviously, we're in a desert.
So roll that extra d6.
I'm going to
That's
wrestle
a 4.
this hob if it kills me.
Excellent. Bayor, you launch forward, cutting the hob deeply across its chest. As you do so, the flames from your blade starts to glow red hot. And as you cut it, flames start to lick out from the wound on the Bander hob as you see it start to look down and try to put out these flames.
And I'm going to drop a Gandalf line. Go back to the shadow.
Yeah. Excellent. Make an intimidation check.
Yes, please. All right, 17 on the die with an intimidation +5 because that's one of his proficiencies. 17 + 5 is 22, buddy.
Excellent. As you launch this attack in this line of the Banner Hob, you can see its sideways pupils sort of like get bigger and then shrink up again as it starts to shrink back from you and Celestina. That brings us to Big G.
Okay, so I got my big old rocky fist, and I'm gonna attempt to wrap my my rocky claws around it.
Okay.
Meaty rocky claws.
It needs to make another strength saving throw.
All right.
We're gonna pin this motherfucker down if it kills us.
We're gonna sandwich him.
7.
Sumo.
He is currently restrained. Not only that, but he takes 2d6 damage.
Okay.
Yeah, hack his face in from here. Hell yeah.
That's 6 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Start kicking him. Just start kicking him.
At that point, I'm just gonna get closer to the water, as close as I can, without getting in the water.
I'm sorry, Big G. I don't mean to interrupt you. Exactly what spell are you casting here again?
Maximilian's Earthen Grasp.
Earthen Grasp. Hang on, let me look up one thing here.
Yeah,
It's a homebrew from first edition. You haven't heard of it.
Oh! Oh, wait, actually. I'll let you.
Oh, no.
It says whoever you grip becomes mud.
No, so it says the hand is medium, but it doesn't say you can't grapple a large creature, so yeah, you're okay.
Like.
He's also not grappled, he is restrained.
Gotcha.
He's level 2 grappled.
Yeah.
You grappled. Excellent. Yeah, as this large earthen hand erupts from the ground, engulfing most of this Vanderhobb's leg, you see it like lurch down in pain as the ground and the rocks clamp and crush its leg.
Cat.
Jeez.
Cat. Big G, anything else here?
No, that should be it.
All right, that brings us to Celestina.
All right. After being pulled along the ground, probably still on the ground a little bit, and using this opportunity that Arguvar has made, that Bayor has made me, I'm going to take my war pick and try to slam it into the side of this creature's jaw as an attempt to kind of like get some leverage and get away from it.
Okay, go ahead, roll that attack.
That's a non-natural 20.
Okay, yeah, that'll hit.
All right, and that's going to be, let me roll the damage. It's 1d8 plus 5. So 11 piercing damage as this war pick goes into the side jaw of this creature.
And you see it pierce through as this dark red, almost black blood starts to seep from this wound as this Vanderhobb now is backing up even further from you two.
Oh, I'm not going to let it try to get away. What I'm going to do is in this moment, as I've got it hooked in with the war hook, I'm going to try to bring it into the earth and just start hitting it. So I'm going to use a key point and I'm going to make the flurry of blows.
Oh, excellent.
All right, the first is an 11 to hit.
That does not hit.
And that's why we flurry of blows. The second attack is a 12.
That unfortunately also does not hit.
I tried my best.
Celestina, you trying to drag this Vanderhobb down, but it is a large creature and you're unable to use your weight to leverage it.
He's so slimy.
Other than that, I'm probably going to just kind of like prepare myself with Arguvar, trying to conceal that I am definitely seeing a little bit of a better day. Seeing a little bit tired, a little bit.
Yeah, you just woke up, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm groggy as shit.
Took a tongue to the shoulder.
That's what this elegant knight says. He looks over. I'm tired of shit. This is too much for me.
And you see now Rylin runs over to Yorick, and she assists him and helps him get up off of the ground, and the two of them run back. And you see Yorick is looking through his pack, and he quickly grabs his sword and his shield as he spins around back towards the darkness as the two of them face down the third Vanderhobb that is now approaching. That brings us back to our Vanderhobb's turn. The one in front of Big G and Arguvar can't move, so it's going to look at the two of you and launch another tongue attack here. Big G, that's a 27. I rolled a 19 here.
A 20 doesn't hit.
Is it possible for me to jump in front? Like,
no! Fuck, I can take it. Bring it.
I'm gonna say, for our purposes here, no.
Little chameleon lizard.
Don't even worry about it.
You ever see a kobold's head fly straight off from a tongue attack?
How much?
That
How much?
is 8 necrotic damage as the tongue hits you dead in the chest. Big
Not
G.
even bloodied.
Give me a strength saving throw, please.
Oh, that's not good. Natural 20.
So you feel the tongue start to retract, but Big G, you're able to somehow like reach down and grab some roots, and you feel it rip, and it almost tears your shoulders out of their sockets, but the tongue doesn't hold on to your body. It releases from you as you land back in place. The Banderhob next to Celestina and Bayor is going to try to jump into the water. Well, it takes the damage first at the top of the round, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so give me that damage.
5.
And then there's another hob.
It jumps into the water.
Do we get an opportunity attack?
Yep, you both get opportunity attacks.
All right.
Let's hope this is high.
You gotta bring it in.
It's a 19.
20.
That's plus
Those
5, so
both
24.
hit.
So that's 2d6.
9 piercing damage.
Okay.
Plus 3. 12. 12 slashing.
Okay. Yeah, so you both launch in, taking large hacks at this Banderhob as it leaves a bloody trail in the water. I need both of you to give me perception checks.
Okay.
9.
9.
Okay.
Look at us.
Unfortunately, it
So
disappears in the murky water. The blood almost obscures your view even more in this dark water, so you can't see where it goes, and you both are looking into the swamp as...
We're so perceptive. Absolutely perceptive.
That's Bayor. Bayor does a... what is that? 17 hit.
I have an AC of 18, my buddy.
That misses. So Bayor, as you're looking out into this murky water, there's a tongue that shoots forward out of the darkness, but you're able to bring the flat of your blade around and deflect the tongue.
Oh, I want to save my opportunity attacks to cut that thing in half. I really want to cut a tongue.
Is that what the kids are calling it these days?
Yes. It's the new slang of the day. I was cutting tongues.
Yeah.
Those kids today cutting tongues. Those nasty kids.
Watching TikToks, cutting tongues.
Christ.
Back at the camp, the third Banderhob has come up onto the land and is approaching Yarick and Rylin, and it takes a big old bite attack out of Yarick as you hear him cry out in pain. And as you turn around, hang on here. As you turn around, you see this Banderhob has Yarick's shield arm. It's completely engulfed his shield up to his shoulder as it is latched onto him.
Rylin cut his arm off again. I fucking will.
Just as an honest thing, because D&D Beyond is confusing, I accidentally had my shield equipped. I'm holding my greatsword. My AC is a 16. That would have hit, so give me the damage, sir.
Thank you for being honest. That does make the difference in this case. Tongue damage is a 10 necrotic damage, Bayor. As the tongue latches onto you, I need you to make a strength saving throw as well.
Bro, if you fail this and the Kobold didn't, I swear, bro.
I rolled an 18 plus 3, so 21, buddy.
That saves.
If we had a
tongue
10-foot-tall lion man chewed up, I would have cried.
Feel the tongue pull you, but you're able to quickly grab the tongue and pull it off of your chest before it releases.
I was about to say, can I hold on to it? Can I make an opposed strength to hold it? Just to hold it for now, because I have no other actions.
I'm gonna say you will travel with it, but yes.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, make a strength saving throw.
Thank you, Brill, for that. Very supportive. Yay.
I love violence.
14.
14. Doesn't matter. I guess it would be more of a strength check at that point in time. It doesn't matter. It didn't roll high enough. So, Bayor, you get dragged with this tongue as it pulls you with alarming strength deep under the murky water as you're submerged past your head. Your vision goes dark as it's just mud and like this dark, murky water that's been stirred up until all of a sudden this hulking shadow under the water appears in front of you. You can see as it reels you in, there's a little bit of a look of like, oh shit, on its face, is like it expected you to get here, but not for you to have its tongue.
Okay.
As you are under the water here. That brings us to Arguvar's turn.
Yo, I want to cut some bitches. May I cut this bitch?
You may cut that bitch.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to actually slash it with the weapon. So here's to hoping, huh, gang?
You got this. You got
that. Is a crit.
Yeah.
Beyond.
Oh.
Who's left? To
Go
make
ahead
the
and
crit,
roll that
Celestina?
double damage, Arguvar.
Are you the
Roll it
last to
double
crit
it?
tonight?
I got crit. Does that count?
You did.
Yeah.
You got
So
crit
I
on.
guess double this? How do you want to do damage?
It's up to you. I just ask that you choose beforehand whether you want to roll twice or take the double dice roll.
How about I just roll twice? I
Go
feel
for
like that's easy. All right, bam. So that is going to be that. And that is going to be that. So altogether, that is going to be a whopping 12 points of slashing damage as I stab into this guy. This guy.
Yeah, this guy right here.
This guy right here.
Arguvar walking forward into the swamp, similarly to Bayor, carving a piece of this Vanderhob out with your greatsword here.
There's a lot of screaming from my end, too. I just don't want to reenact it to wake my neighbors, but there's a lot of screaming on my end. Ah! Yeah, a lot of that still.
He carves a bar chart.
That's right.
Arguvar, is there anything else here?
Besides carving in an XY axis, no, that's about it.
Cool. It brings us to Bayor as you are under the water with this thing.
Okay. Quick question about the greatsword. Could I have just dropped it so that I can have my claws?
Also, yeah, as
Okay,
you're
so then
able
it's-
to drop it back on land.
So, Celestina, my greatsword is right next to you. You don't have to guard it with your life, but just, guard it with your life. And I'm going to go ahead with my claws if I can see this creature in the water.
Yeah. You're close enough right up on it that you can make out an attack. Go for it.
All right.
Do you guys still think the person who made these are good guys?
Well, I mean, we all make mistakes.
For the record, they looked for the best security system, and so far it's working really well.
Yeah, by eating this innocent man. How are you, Rorik, or whatever? Yorick.
All right, that is a 19.
19, that'll hit.
I did not pull out a d4.
I don't think anyone is fully evil.
Sweet. 6 damage.
6. Excellent. Bayor, you slash across it. You actually cut a gash underneath its eye as it reels back in this murky water as you're tangling with it.
Oh, I'm going for eyes. I want to go for eyes next
Dude, you
turn.
better slurp
If this
those
thing is
eyes
still
out.
swimming, I am going to take an eye as a souvenir.
Let an eye out, dude.
That brings
Put
us
your-
to
Just suck it out.
just a big G.
I hold out my claw and just start closing it. And as I do that, you see the earthen grasp start to clasp a little bit harder. I needed to make another strength saving throw.
All right. Oh, that gives us a 16.
16 does pass, but it still takes half damage. So it's going to take, ooh, I rolled pretty well, 8 half to 4 of bludgeoning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
That's my turn.
Yeah, as it clamps down tighter on this leg that it has, that brings us to Celestina.
All right. Seeing Bayor get pulled into the water, and then immediately seeing as it looks like he's got quite a handle of things in the water, as I see him start clawing violently, I'm actually going to use my movement, and I'm just going to gather my speed and just dart at the one that's currently on Yarick. I'm going to try to just hit that one to see if I can do enough damage to make it let go so Yarick can run away.
Kick him in the head.
Sure.
Yeah. So I'm going to run into it, and with a war pick, 24 to hit.
Oh, that hits, yeah.
All right. As I spring this down onto it, 1 on the die, so 6 piercing damage.
Hey.
Okay.
And then using the momentum, I'm probably just going to jump onto its head, and I'm going to count me landing on it as both my unarmed attacks for flurry of blows. Trying to just, like, get it away or get it to let go.
Okay.
That's a nat 1 for the first hit.
That'll miss.
But for the second hit, 13. We're finding out this creature's AC 1 at a time.
That'll also miss, unfortunately.
Not
Celestina.
13, guys.
As you try to
close.
unleash this fury of blows, and unfortunately, the attacks are hitting, but the hide of this creature is just really tough, and you're not able to, find purchase into it.
Yeah. Gotcha. But I'm still trying to just put myself in between it and Yarick. We're just trying to, like, get it to let go of Yarick for a little bit so he can run away.
Oh my god. The blues. You blew it.
That brings us actually
Hit
to
somebody.
Yarick's turn. Yarick, luckily enough, you see him put his other hand and he's able to pry his arm out of the mouth of this creature. He loses his shield in the process, and you can see his arm is torn up. But he is free of the creature. Rylin, seeing you damaged on your arm, Celestina, looks towards you and is going to use the last of her healing Balm of the Summer Court. So you heal 5 points of... Well, no, you heal 4 and get 1 temp HP.
Oh, thank God. Let me add that real fast. All right, we're good. Indestructible now.
As you see, she does, after this, start to dart by the creature. The Banderhob is going to use its reaction and is going to hit Rylin. Oh, shoot. You now see Rylin as she was darting behind this creature. The Banderhob has gone, and it has a bite of her leg. And as she tries to crawl on the ground, she can't quite reach. She is grappled now by this Banderhob. That brings us back to the Banderhob. So,
no.
Cut the tongue.
So first, the one with Arguvar, and can it? No, I guess it would. It's right. So Arguvar, it glares down at you now, having this big chunk out of its chest.
Yep. No, I know where it's going.
Unnatural 20.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, you're fine. No worries.
I like how silly this stream got.
That's a lot of click-clack in there going on there, Kurt.
That's 20 points of damage.
Ah!
How you
and I
doing
need
there,
you
Brill?
to make a strength saving throw.
Okay.
Can a corpse make a strength saving throw?
Oh. Holy God. Let me take the damage.
Are you still up?
I am.
Oh,
He's
God.
not happy about it. He's
But
not
you can
happy
see
about it.
Oh,
all
God.
my blood and everything fall out. What am I making?
A strength saving throw.
He is no
Please,
longer a
God.
bronze dragon. He's a brown dragon because he's shat himself.
many
no.
times. Dragon, behold. That is going to be a 17.
Okay. Thankfully, it is not able to grapple you. However, it takes a crunching blow as it grasps around your midsection, and you can feel the armor just sort of dent in and pierce into your torso as it treats it like tinfoil.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, man, that's just ceremonial armor from my ancestors. Yeah, man. Bend that shit. Really easy to buff out.
Drop rage.
The Vanderhob under the water next to you, Bayor. I'm trying. So you're technically grappling its tongue.
Mm-hmm.
So it is going to just go ahead and make that bite attack on you.
Go ahead, bitch.
That's a
Try me, bitch.
14.
I have 16 currently without the shield. Yep.
So you see it reel its tongue in and try to like use the momentum of its tongue to bite you, but you're able to like hold your purchase under the water and not be dragged into its mouth as it clamps down.
I really wish I could rake like a normal cat, you know, with all of my claws. That would be awesome.
That's the end of its turn. That brings us to the one that is currently grappling Rylin as it Celestina, you see Rylin is crawling along the ground. You see this Vanderhob pick her up by her leg, and you see it toss her into the air and boom, and swallow her whole.
Oh. Yeah.
Go in.
Right.
Go in. Jump in there. Get into that frog soup, Celestina. Jump in there.
And
delicious.
It turns around to face you and Yorick, and you see its tongue lick across its lips. That brings us to the end of its turn, and it is Arguvar.
I'm gonna stab it, DM. May I stab it?
You may stab it.
Do I still have the strength to lift my sword? Jesus. Arguvar's gonna go fuck and just basically go ham as best I can. Let's swing and see where we go. What takes?
See what happens.
Hey, DM. Quick question. Just an idea. Just throwing it out here quickly. You know, I got a crit fail.
Wait. It is restrained because of Earth and Grasp. Does he get advantage?
Is there a god?
Creatures do.
Is there a god of math?
Yeah, you do have advantage.
Roll another nat one. Please roll another nat one.
All right, don't worry, everybody. It's 2 ones. It's an 11 now.
11 total does not hit, unfortunately.
Oh my god.
In that case, I'm just going to try to roll intimidation. Can I look mean at it?
Sure. Yeah, you certainly can try.
All right. Let's see if I can intimidate a hob. That is a 19. 19 as I try to scream warrior say and yell into this hob's face, hopefully to, I don't know, get in its head and knock it off its game.
You do see the hob as it appears to be startled by this yell that you've let out. It goes backwards a few feet.
As it's also picking fucking scales of mine out of its teeth.
Bayor, that brings us to you.
I'm pissed.
Okay.
Under the water.
Yeah, while still holding onto this tongue, I want to put my feet and just try to pull out the tongue out of its mouth.
Cherry stem?
Yeah, no, I want to rip the tongue out of his mouth. I want to see his lungs.
Give me
in my hand.
Strength check here.
Is the lung to tongue, is that a quick jaunt? Or is it a lot of pulling to get lung? Is that correct?
Did you not 20 it?
Rip it out, kid.
Yes. It's a 20! It's a 20!
Bayor, you put your feet firmly on the Banderhob's shoulders. You dig into it with your claws, and you wrench. You see the Banderhob's eyes widen, and you feel something give way deep in the Banderhob's throat. As all of a sudden, you are propelled backwards through the water. There's just blood gushing out of the Banderhob's mouth as it sinks down into the depths as you're holding about a 10-foot long piece of this slimy tongue in your hand.
Okay. All right. I am going to go back to camp, staring down at the one. I probably don't know if it swallowed Rylin.
You would not know, no.
But going towards that one while holding onto this fucking tongue.
Excellent.
Dragging it along with me.
We're trying to intimidate. That's our new plan.
Big G, that brings us to you.
This goblin frog toad blood, yeah.
How's this big toad looking creature looking?
He does not look too bad.
Well, I'm gonna need him.
Ask me how I look. Ask me how I look.
How you looking, Arguvar?
You just blood mostly. That's most of what I am at the moment.
At least you still got that.
I'm gonna look at Arguvar and go, you might just like take a step back. Like, let me handle this. I got this.
I waddle. I just kind of waddle turn for you.
I'm gonna keep just trying to crush it in this earthen grasp.
Okay.
So I need it to make another strength saving throw.
That is an 18 this time.
That passes, but he still takes half damage. That's an 8 half to 4.
8 half to 4.
Little by little, I will take out this toad.
Okay.
Hobbs, man.
Yeah, you see it. Now, as you crunch down on its leg again, you hear it let out this pain as it looks around, and Big G, its eyes land on you.
Bring it. I just eye him up.
Celestina.
I look to Yarick and I look to Bayor and I say, "Can you grab her?" As I quickly say this, as I go for the eyes on this creature, trying to get it to do anything to open its mouth. So I'm gonna take my war pick and I'm just gonna swing it dead into its eye.
Okay,
make it those orbs.
24 to hit.
24. That hits.
I'm gonna ask, where is she?
As I hit this creature in the eye, does it open its mouth? Or I rolled a 2 on the die, so 7 piercing damage this time.
It does let out a shriek as it, you pierce. You don't hit the eye dead on, but you do hit the flesh right next to its eye and open up a big old gash.
Right. Yeah, and as its mouth opens, I'm gonna again now just try to bring my knee, just anything to like hit the jaw, anything to make it keep its mouth open. I'm gonna use my last key point for a flurry of blows on this because I need to make sure that this thing takes damage, and I need to hit it more than once on a turn. That's a 26 for the first hit.
26 will hit, yeah.
All right. So that's gonna be 7 more bludgeoning damage.
Excellent.
As the next one goes in to hit as well. That's going to be another 12.
Ooh.
Does it change this time? Does it hit this time?
It does not.
Does it change?
You bring your knee around and land a solid blow right to its jaw as you see its jaw hang open for a second. Bayor, as you can get a glimpse into its jaw, though, you don't see anything in there. It's almost like the inside of this creature is covered in shadows and black and darkness, and like no light is piercing the inside of it.
You can't tell it to go back to the shadow. The shadow's in its belly. It doesn't make any sense now.
It eat
so
itself.
I'll turn it inside out. That's fine.
But
it's in its tongue.
I do definitely still yell at Yarick to try to get her out.
That brings us to Rylin. As you then put 2 and 2 together here, Bayor, as you see inside this creature, almost like it's pregnant, something trying to move and burst out from it, and you see that it appears to grow weak and slow down as the creature turns. Yarick here launches into an attack. You see him trying to bring his sword down on the creature's back, but you see a creature just deflect the blow with a big hand as it brings us back to the Banderhob's turn. The one in front of you, Arguvar and Big G, it's going to launch another tongue attack at you, Big G.
Is there a way for me to use a reaction to get in between me and Big G? No. Okay.
You don't have any abilities that let you do that.
I'm just asking if it's
I'll say, give me a
on.
dexterity, because you've seen it do this a couple of times. Give me a
Right.
dexterity saving throw, but it's going to be pretty tough.
Okay.
Don't even worry about it. Don't worry.
I'm worried, bud. That's a 6. I'm wounded.
Unfortunately, you're not able. You see it happening almost in slow motion, but you're not able to react in time. Big G, that's a 16.
16 does hit. Fuck.
Okay. I need you to make a strength saving throw
Oh.
as you take 7 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
Big G, for a second time, this tongue lands square in your chest. This time, you're trying to reach down and grab those roots that were there, but you are lifted off of your feet and launched towards this creature's face. I need you to go ahead. Is that a Constitution saving throw for Earthen Grasp?
For concentration, yes. I would have to make
concentration?
a 10, I believe.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Easy. 17.
Sweet. You're able to maintain concentration on your spells, the grasp you have on it, as you are dragged towards its mouth. Yep. The second Banderhob, at this point in time, is going to turn and run towards the south of the camp.
The one that's eating Rylin?
Yes.
Or how is not going to get far.
So I need
Are you still on the head of the
saving
thing?
throws from, or not saving throws, it's an opportunity from Celestina and Yarick if you want to make it.
I do. 17.
That'll hit. And Yarick hits as well.
Right. Definitely still trying to bring this dude down. 9 piercing damage.
Okay. The two of you manage to take big chunks out of it as you see it like lurch back, but it's still lurching through the camp, crossing a surprising amount of distance for something this big as it gets to the other side of camp, near the waters on that side. For reference, Bayor, the one that dragged you, was towards the north of camp. That you killed underwater. You're coming from the north. This one came in from the east and is now running south, and Arguvar and Big G are fighting with one to the west. So that brings us back to Arguvar.
I am going to try to make sure I am really up in its face and that it will aim any attacks at moi rather than Big G. I feel protective.
I
feel
can take it. I can take it.
All right, I'm just going to
Fine.
I'm going to try to intimidate it at first, just so it's like, hey, dickhead, fight me. I don't know how else to do that.
Okay.
I'm going to roll for but that's what I'm gonna do.
Give me a performance check.
Okay.
In 3.5.
I just wanted to make. I'm like, you best aim here. It's a 5.
I'm telling
Okay,
you. D&D Beyond does not like you tonight. Like, you haven't rolled above a 10 for the past,
Can I
like,
tell
6
you
rolls.
what my attack is? My
Go for
attack
it.
DM is a crit fail, and I know what you're going to say. Isn't he restrained? And I'm going to go, is he? I don't think he is.
He is.
Oh,
The earthen grasp is still there.
Yeah, he maintained concentration.
all right. Instead of a crit fail, that's a 21 to hit.
That is.
That will hit.
Oh, yeah. And now that is going to be a whopping 7 points of slashing damage. As I try to stay in its face and be like, hey, dickhead, over here.
And it goes back.
Yeah, you bring your sword around, slashing the Banderhob across its arm, cutting it deep. You feel it connect down with the bone. As you see it glancing back and forth from you to Big G. That brings us to Bayor. As you're watching the Banderhob in front of you turn tail and start to run towards the opposite side of the camp.
All right, my movement is 35. I want to get within 10 feet and use my last ability to channel divinity and do Nature's Wrath. So as an action, you cause spectral vines to spring up and reach for a creature within 10 feet of you. The creature must succeed on a strength or dex saving throw or be restrained. And then repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns.
Cool. Yeah, I'll say because you were a little bit away from it, but you do have slightly faster movement, you're able to get within 10 feet, but not quite to melee range of it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this dice is not doing well right now. That is a 7 for its strength saving throw.
Okay. Then when it's restrained, I slap the tail or the tongue in front of it and say, "Spit her out, or you will be the same."
Make an intimidation check.
6, 5, so 13.
Okay. Good to know.
Wait, my math is terrible. That's an 11.
11. Okay. Big G.
I'm pretty bad right now.
That's why I'm trying to be like, over here.
The kobold never runs away. But what he does do is I'm going to bring up my hand, put it into my finger guns, and start blasting away with magic missile.
Okay. Is magic missile a ranged attack?
Auto
It
hit.
is auto hit.
It's an auto hit.
Okay.
Magic missile always hits. Pa, pa,
Go
pa.
for it. Roll that damage then.
Yeah, that is
Just look at
3d4
that.
plus 1 on each.
So 3.
Ooh, oh, that's okay. This is simple math, and I'm stressed.
Oh,
but
yeah,
that is
no.
9 damage.
9. Excellent. Yeah, the 3 bursts of light coming from your finger landing into its chest, all leaving little char marks into it. Anything else here, Big G?
I'm just gonna start slowly walking backwards, just a nice distance away.
You are going to get an opportunity attack if you do that.
You know what? It's just a very cozy spot. You know, I should. I will stand my ground and I will trust Arguvar with my life, literally.
Okay. So Celestina, it's your turn.
All right. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use, seeing as it's now been entangled by the vines, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to run, get just a little bit ahead of it, and then using that momentum, turn around and try to again hook it and bring this creature back onto the land. But I'm still gonna just hit it. But
Okay.
flavor-wise, I'm gonna try to drag its body back onto the land.
Sure, go ahead and make that attack.
That is a 13 to hit.
That does not hit, unfortunately, here.
Oh,
Is
I have
this the one
advantage
that
because
I'm
this-
attacking? Yeah, he's
Yeah, the restrained
restrained.
one.
Yep. Good call.
24 to hit.
That will hit.
All right. So that's going to be 8 piercing damage as I try to bring it in there.
Should have spit her
Okay.
out, buddy. I'm taking
And
your
that-
tongue now.
That's what we do here. We remove
And then
tongues, you
as the
understand?
bonus action, just a regular hit, I'm just going to basically just punch into, again, the connection of the jaw, just anything I can to get this thing to open its mouth and keep it open.
Sure.
As I have advantage, that would have been another 13 or a 10.
Both of those are going to miss here, unfortunately, Celestina. You are able to hook it and hold it in place a little better as you're working here with the vines to keep it restrained, though. But your follow-up hits do not hit. Yorick comes up now, and taking a page out of your book, he's just going to grab this creature by its arm, trying to hold it still and hold it down. But you see it knocks Yorick back a couple of feet as he picks himself back up off of the ground. The Banderhob's going now, as this Banderhob looking at you, Arguvar, and Big G. It is not finding itself in a particularly good spot, but Big G being a little morsel sitting right in front of it, it is going to come down.
It could use its action to try to break free.
That is
that is an option.
Unnatural 20.
You're a delicacy. You're a delicacy, Cabal.
Please try to jump in front of this. I don't want to miss.
Do
Save
it.
this poor boy.
Do it, Kurt. Do it.
That is a... That's 18 points of damage here, Big G.
Kurt, I am down. Luckily, my hit point maximum is 18, so I'm not dead.
Okay, good here.
God.
Good here. You, Arguvar, see as this happens, the Banderhob rears its head back and slams its head mouth first into the ground around Big G. And as it lifts up, Big G is nowhere to be found. You see the grasp that it has on its leg start to fall and break apart. And as it notices that it's no longer restrained, it looks back up at you and turns to dive into the swamp. That's an opportunity attack if you want to make it.
Oh, you
I
take
would
that
like
opportunity.
to, if I can, if it's possible, I would like to try to tackle him and try to get that man out of him.
Sure.
Can my attack be trying to rip this man away?
I will say your attack. I'll say you can make a grapple check as part of your
All right.
opportunity here.
Yep, that's what we're doing.
Oh,
Yeah, actually,
D&D Beyond, please.
I'm going to actually roll with an actual dice. Give me one second.
The dice gods.
I can't find one. Okay, you know what? D&D Beyond, do your best.
Please crit. Please crit.
That is going to be a 14.
That's
14.
That's something, though.
The Banderhob rolled a natural 20 on its strength check. As it leaps into the air, you try to grab your arms, but its legs slip out and it splashes into the swamp and disappears.
Can you do a slow digress there, Janders? Just a...
Wait, it disappears?
Into the swamp, yes.
Oh no.
That brings us to the other Banderhob's turn. Actually, yeah. It rolled a 12 on its check to try to escape here.
A 12?
Yes.
That would be he has to beat a 13.
Okay, he did not.
DC 13.
So yeah, you see him struggling, and then he opens up his, he turns his head upwards, and you see him start to, and as you are all caught off guard, from the waters nearby in the swamp,
Oh no.
there is a fourth tongue that
Yes, I thought
shoots
more.
forward, and it
She said like
slaps
6.
onto Yorick's back here as he's the closest one to it. Celestina, as you are on this Banderhob, you see Yorick's eyes go wide. He's almost like, not again, as he is sucked backwards and disappears into the water of the swamps.
Oh God.
Gee, I'm
Oh
coming
God,
after you, baby.
I only have so many hands. Oh God.
I'm charging into this swamp. I don't care what happens.
Oh, is it my turn or it's
It is. I'm sorry. Yeah, it is Arguvar's turn.
Oh, is it my turn?
It is your turn.
I am charging the fuck into this swamp. Where'd he go?
So it is in the waters now. Are you going to try to submerge yourself and follow it?
Yes. I fear nothing, and the person that I'm supposed to entrust my newborn to just got, so I need to go get him.
Make a perception check here.
Oh gosh.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay. All right, that is going to be a 15.
15. You're close enough that where you dive into the water and you can see the large shadow that is moving through the water ahead of you.
I'm going to try to keep up with it. I'm going to get as close as possible, and if I can swing on it, I will.
Sure. What's your movement speed?
My movement speed should be 30 feet, but I am in water, so I don't...
Gotcha. You're able to keep up with it, but you're not able to get in range to take an attack here.
Okay. All right. Does it notice me while I'm pursuing it?
It does not. It does not appear to be looking back or noticing you at this moment.
All right. Well, gonna in a fucking second. All right. I'm just gonna keep pursuing it. That's my hob. I'm not gonna get rid of it. Hell is it, man.
Bayor, that brings us to
Don't worry,
you.
Big G, I'm coming.
Okay. If it's still restrained, I am going to this Vanderhob, and I am attempting to attack its tongue. I'm taking out that tongue.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, roll an attack.
Alright, 18. That's going to be with its claws, so plus 5. 18, 23.
That hits, yeah.
Alright. 3 plus 3. 6.
6. Excellent. Yeah, Bayor, you charging forward. There's not much open flesh as the vines have started to crawl and wrap their way up the body of this Vanderhob. But you're going into its mouth, trying to get at the tongue. You feel your claws grasp into something at this tongue, but you're not able to grab purchase on it. But you do feel them rip apart into it.
Oh, good.
Big G, that brings us to you. Big G, you're surrounded in darkness as you feel this, the same sucking necrotic force that is pulling at your life, and everything goes dark and starts to spin, and then it's very still. It's very quiet, and you are stabilized. That brings us to Celestina.
I, unaware that my friends have, 1, gone frog hunting, and 2, become what is hunted by frogs, I'm going to, and seeing Yarrick get pulled in immediately next to me, I'm still going to just kind of focus on getting Rylin out, because I do not know how much time she has left in there, whether it be air or anything, and that's just going to be priority number 1, is making sure I can get her out.
Sure.
But since it's restrained, I'm going to kind of get on top of it and just start brutally hitting it.
Go for it. Roll that attack advantage.
That's either a 20 or a 13, so we'll go with a 20.
That'll hit.
All right. 8 piercing damage as I bring this into it. And then I only get 1 because I've already used up all my key points. But I'm going to basically just kind of keep trying to force that jaw open.
Sure. Go ahead, roll that.
Natural 20.
Attack. Oh,
There's
nice.
his crit of the night. There's
Nice.
All right. There's the crit. All right. So that's going to be 4 plus 1. So 10 more bludgeoning damage as I just kind of bring my foot into this, trying anything to just break this jaw open.
Nice. Yeah, and you see the Banderhob now. Its jaw is almost hanging on by a thread here, as it has taken a significant amount of damage since being restrained here. That brings us back around. So this Banderhob in front of us, it's gonna roll that's a 24 to escape.
I mean, but it doesn't make it. Totally doesn't make it at all.
Gotcha. So yeah, you see it now under this damage and stress rip out of these vines as it tosses Celestina. You had been riding on top of it. It tosses you nearby. You're able to quickly get back up to your feet, but you're not right on top of it. As it quickly now turns and dives, goes to turn and dive into the swampy waters. Celestina, you can make. Bayor, you came up next to it as well. Both of you give me an attack of opportunity if you want to.
Let's go. 21.
That'll
9.
hit. That unfortunately will not.
All right.
Do I have its tongue?
You did not, unfortunately, keep hold of its tongue on that last attack.
I rolled a 6, so 11 more piercing damage.
Okay.
How much do these things have? They're so tanky.
They are tanky boys.
They're toady.
At this point, though, you see it dive, launch into the air. Celestina, you bring your pick around, and you actually manage to drive it through its ankle, and you feel the tendons and the bone give way as you tear its foot off as it leaps through the air and dives, disappears into the water.
Gosh.
You see also there is a brief. Oh, poor Yarick. There is a brief.
You gonna say it?
Ramble and tumble that you can see as the water gets very rough and then it grows still as well. Both of you give me perception checks here.
Right.
Me and Bayor? Or, me and...
You and Bayor and Celestina here.
That's my first good perception, 18.
12.
18 and 12. So you both see two of the large shadows that are swimming in the water away from the camp, as well as the one that is trying to gain some distance on Arguvar here. Arguvar brings us back to your turn as you are struggling to keep up with this Banderhob as it's swimming through the water.
Are they all going the same way?
Those two were. You don't know where the third one is right now.
I would like to, if possible, make an attack on it and let my presence be known to it, as I will not stop until I fetch a little kobold from its bosom.
Okay. So this, the Banderhob in front of you, Arguvar, would have dashed to get away.
I will keep up with it then. I will dash with it.
Okay.
And if he's still moving and I can't make an opportunity attack, I would like to make my whole thing known that I will. You know my big, like, crazy helmet? That's in the water right behind him like a shark. I'm getting this kobold back.
Give me a perception check.
Okay.
As you see the Banderhob darting and trying to get away in this dark and murky water.
That's a crit, baby. I'm catching his ass.
You maintain visual on this Banderhob as Celestina and Bayor. You notice that there is coming in from the side. You can see now these two figures that are underneath the water. That brings us to Bayor.
I am going to. I mean, if they're going the same direction, I'm going to chase after the ones that are going in the same direction. The third one, who is in the stomach of the third one?
Yarick.
You saw Yarick get dragged into the water, and you have not seen him reemerge.
Okay. I'm going in the direction of the Banderhops that have Big G and Rylin then, if they're both going that same direction.
So you'll tell as you see this third one coming in, all three of them are headed towards the same direction.
Oh, I chase them then. Yeah, I am dashing my full 70 through the swamp.
Okay.
I am just keeping pace.
Excellent.
Wait, am I standing next to Celestina before I do this?
Yes.
How does Celestina look?
You want like a number or like a little bit better than half, a little bit better than the average.
Okay.
Definitely better than the rest of the party.
Okay. I'm gonna save it then. Yep, I'm gonna save it.
If you see Arguvar, you're seeing a scary
So
Arguvar.
I'm going to assume here that all three of you are giving chase to these bandits.
Yes.
Oh, I'm shooting arrow. I'm gonna be shooting arrows like into the water if I can, like taking moments and just kind of like lining up good shots if I'm possibly able to.
I'm going to be doing a lot of insults.
And going for that.
So
throwing shade my way.
Banderhobbs at this point in time have gotten their prey and are retreating into the swamp. Bayor, as you dash, you do dash, and as you are able to, go ahead and roll a roll a d20 here for me, Bayor.
Okay.
I will catch these motherfuckers. Don't worry, Big G.
I believe in you.
Just a straight d20.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna save you,
13,
buddy.
you're good. You're able to jump from dry land to dry land as you're able to keep up. You're actually able to gain some ground on the two Banderhob figures that you're chasing in front of you.
I just imagine the scene from when Timon and Pumbaa are in the jungle and Nala just starts bearing down on them.
So yeah, you are able to catch up. Is there anything you can do with your bonus action?
I don't have many for bonus actions. No, I have the 2-weapon. Daunting Roar, and I already did that. And then any of my smites, which take an action to do. So no.
Okay. Then that brings us to Arguvar underneath the water here.
How close am I to one of them?
The one in front of you, you're able to keep pace with it, so you're 10 feet behind it.
Okay. I would like to close in and try to attack, if possible. Like a swipe at this motherfucker.
So they are both they've gone into a full dash. So you're able to keep ground if you want to, or if you have a ranged attack, you can try to make one underneath the water.
Do I have my boomerang back?
You do. I am going to say a boomerang under the water being thrown is going to be a disadvantage.
A water boomerang, though. You need to get one of them.
But if you want to, by all means, you can make that attack.
And can I please also try to make a performance that, or some way to entice them back, essentially? Like, I don't know, at performance-wise, could I, like, I don't know, start shaking in the water like I'm prey that needs to be eaten?
You can try, sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, you sure are bleeding a lot.
I know, you'd think, right? That's a 13 on the boomerang.
Okay. The boomerang, unfortunately, you throw it and you see it go ahead and then start to sink down into this murky water.
Hey Kurt, quick question. Who needs attacks when you can, like, crit on performances? I'm dying.
Excellent. I mean, you are dying. So, yeah, you begin to thrash in the water, and you do see this Banderhob.
Come and get me. Eat me.
Ahead of you. It does stop, and you see it turn around and look at you in the water.
That's right, big boy.
That brings us to Celestina.
All right. I'm going to be probably following behind Bayor, running from land to land, but I'm only going to use my 40 feet of movement for now. Because what I'm going to do is, because I'm still able to see them kind of like on the surface of the water, I'm going to take a moment and I'm just going to line up a shot, and I'm going to use my bonus action to add a Kensei shot, meaning I add a D4 to the hit. But I'm going to take a shot with my longbow at the one that I know had Rylin, because I know that one's not looking good, and I do not know that Big G is currently being eaten.
Okay. This is an attack under, like, you're going into the water, so I am going to say it's going to be at disadvantage.
All right.
Just because
even with a bow?
No, bow. Yeah, go ahead. Roll for the bow.
All right.
Bows work a little differently. So yeah.
I'm just surprised that my scuba boomerang didn't work.
Boomerang.
I'm sorry?
I missed the shot. I got a 12.
Gotcha.
I'm going to switch D20s. But I'm just going to then because I used my action and bonus action, I'm just going to run the 40 feet and try to keep up.
Okay. Yeah, so you're slightly behind Bayor and the two Banderhobs as they have moved forward here.
Big G, what's it like being digested?
It's kind of warm, actually. Soothing. It's like a hot tub.
Are you its prey or its baby by now? You're sustained, right? You're fine?
It's a toad hammock, honestly.
I can't. I'm gonna chest burst out, and I'm gonna be a new toad.
Arguvar, you see the one that is with you hesitate for a moment before it turns and it continues its dash into the swamp. Unfortunately, it has a very full belly at the moment. So that is another full round of dashing on the Hobbs' turn. That brings us back to Arguvar.
Well, if I can only dash after it and I can't seem to get a hold on it, can I try to tackle it by any chance? I know that hasn't worked in the past, but we can pray. There's a man in that guy's belly. I need to save him.
So at this moment, you can attempt to. However, you need to catch up with them first.
All right, I will dash then.
Gotcha.
Running my best life. With all the blood coming out of me.
As you do that, I need you to make roll a d20 for me, Arguvar.
You got it. D&D Beyond can be nice. That is, in fact, yet another crit.
Excellent.
It's either high or low, man.
That's a scary time. I'm worried it's either going to be a crit or a 3.
Swimming through the water, trying to keep up with this Banderhob, notice there is a large branch that crashes down into the water ahead of you, but you're able to quickly maneuver around it and keep up with the Banderhob. Bayor, it is your turn.
Okay. I, being from Virginia, we like to go gigging for frogs, and one thing you need is a frog gigger, but in order to launch it into the night, you need to get it back. So I'm going to take out rope and my spear, and I'm going to start tying that to the spear.
Is that
okay?
I'm going frog gigging, buddy.
Yeah, frog gigging is where you hunt frogs with a little spear.
Frog gigging, yeah.
I have grown up in a city my whole life. That's incredible.
I have never gone frog gigging a day in my life, but yes, it's called frog gigging, yeah.
I know what I'm doing this weekend. Hell yeah.
Yeah, you're supposed to do it with a broomstick and 2 forks just, duct taped around, and then you just launch it, yeah.
Hey, honey, you want to go gigging?
Literally.
Yeah, so Bayor, you're able to, if you want to, you can spend your action attaching the rope to the spear here.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
You do lose a little bit of ground as you spend the time to do that, but you're able to run forward and catch up here. Celestina, that brings us back to you.
All right. I ran 40 feet. How far behind am I right now? If I had run
Hobbs were
40 feet?
40. You are 80 feet behind the Hobbs at this point.
All right, I'm going to move up that 40 feet, and this is probably the last turn I'm going to get the chance before I have to full dash towards them. I'm going to still try to take another shot, using my bonus action to kind of steady my arm a little bit more, and still launch that shot at the Hob that has Rylin.
Go ahead, go for that attack.
I'm going to use D&D Beyond, because I haven't let any of us down yet. Never mind.
Oh,
Cool. Another 12, baby.
Yeah, it has
Unfortunately,
certainly let us down.
You see your arrow fly into the water with a splash and but it disappears into the murky depths, and you're not able to see any response from the two Banderhobs underneath the water here.
Start throwing rocks.
Seeing as that arrow, seeing that last arrow just not work, yeah, I'm just gonna shoulder my bow and start just running.
Got
So
you.
that was my whole action, just running towards them.
The Banderhobs spend their turn in another dash as they are swimming with all of their might, trying to get away from you. Brings us to Arguvar.
Is there anything I can do, or am I close to them, or are they still dashing?
They're still dashing, so if you have a ranged, anything you can do from a range, you're able to try that. But if you're trying to get into melee range, they've gotten a little bit.
Did I lose my trusty boomerang, or is it back to me?
You threw that boomerang into a murky swamp.
All right. In that case, we're just gonna try to pick up a rock and throw it while we move. It's the best thing I got.
Gotcha.
No.
Okay.
Many different ways to gig a frog.
Go ahead and make that attack roll here.
Okay. Let's see where that goes. That's a 9, DM, as I just awkwardly throw a fucking rock.
Unfortunately, the rock disappears into the depths, much like your boomerang.
You guys have never seen Arguvar this
You
piece of shit. Go back here.
You do notice, Arguvar, though, this Banderhob seems to have joined up with the other ones ahead of you, so you have a glimpse of them, all three of them ahead of you now.
Oh, wait a minute. Do I still get a bonus action? No.
Yeah.
Yes. No. Wait, no, would that count? Was it only a melee? I'm trying to figure out if my crazy voice of authority would mean that one of my party members can make an attack. Because if that's true, that'd be swell. But I don't know if I'm pretty sure it only happens. Oh, I have to cast a spell. Throwing a rock is not casting a spell. I apologize.
It is if you use magic stone.
You are casting this rock out into the abyss.
I'm transmuting this to your face.
Arguvar, taking the time to throw a stone, you do lose a little bit of ground against these Banderhobs. That gives us to Bayor.
Okay. I'm going to assume that I have to use my turn to get back to them by dashing to try to line up a good shot with my rope spear.
Yeah, they are, if you want to stay within range that you don't have to take a penalty to attack.
Okay. Then yeah, I'm going to try to take my first attack with my rope spear.
Okay.
All right. That is a 13 on the die, and I'm guessing I'm doing my dex. Isn't that good?
It's a thrown weapon, so that would be strength.
Oh, well, that's
strength or dex, whatever.
Right. Well, that's 18.
That will hit. Yeah. Go ahead and roll that spear damage for me.
5.
That'll be enough. As you see the Banderhob, you launch your spear and you see it launch into the depths as it sinks, and you feel, well, you don't really have a feel of it, but you see it thunk into something as you see the tip of it stick out of the swamp. As you see it go under the water briefly before the body of the Banderhob floats back to the surface. Dead.
Who comes out?
No one is emerging at this point.
Oh, okay.
As that brings us to Celestina.
Right. How far away am I from these Banderhobs now?
They've dashed. You've maintained. Well, no. So you moved 40. So they were 80. So they were 40 plus 60. They're 100 feet away from you now.
All right. Then yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna use. I can get a little closer, seeing as one of them was taken out. I'm gonna move the 40, and I'm gonna try one more time taking a shot, because this will literally be the last time I'm in range where I can do that.
Sure.
And Do I see? Is the one that he took out? Is it the one I've been following this whole time, or is it a different one?
That is the one that you've been following this whole time. The one that, according to your eye, has Rylin in it.
Okay, then I'm gonna go for the one that I can see that Arguvar is going after a little more because it looks a lot more hurt. So I'm trying to stop them. That's an 18 to hit.
That'll hit.
All right, so that's gonna take 8 plus 1, so 9 plus 5, so 14 piercing damage as I loose this arrow into it.
Arguvar, you see the Banderhob that you've been chasing now suddenly reel back in a great deal of pain as you see something poking out from its neck now. As it's the Banderhob's turn, the one that has taken Yorick disappears further, but the one that has been struck by Celestina is slowed by that blow and is unable to dash. So Arguvar, you are able to close the distance this round if you want to.
I would like to. I would like
Go
to
ahead.
close the distance and make an attack.
Go for it.
Thank you, Dad. Let me hit him, please. Somebody. Let me hit. That's a crit, baby. D&D Beyond. Yes.
Nice. Go ahead. Roll that damage.
It's like playing a slot machine, man. You just...
Oh, dude.
Wow,
it's
it's
so
bananas.
Now is the best time to take your quarters and leave. Just go.
Dude, I don't want to start looking through the chat log because it could be like 3, 3, 3, 20, 20. And you're like,
Yep.
all right, so this is my... Okay, that's first, and then... Okay, so my first hit is going to be, it's doubling the damage. So altogether, so that's 17 plus 13, that is going to be 30 points of slashing damage.
Oh, shit.
He is
Arguvar, you bring your greatsword down. You cut clear through this Banderhob's neck. As you see under the water, the head actually float up and release a unconscious form of Big G just goes swirling into the water as you've basically severed any connection or any blockage from its stomach to the water here.
the fetus of Big G.
I am going to... Is Big G, okay? Are all the Banderhobs dead, by the way?
No.
There's one still that has gained distance on all of you now, that has taken
El
your...
Capitan.
Is there any possibility that I can start the chase down still? Or is he, gone?
He's gained a good amount of distance now. If you want to try to keep up with him, you can certainly go for it. I will say Big G is unconscious in the water, though.
Okay. Cool. But is the rest of the party near him?
You don't really know where the rest... You've been underwater, so you know that the Banderhob gained up with the rest of them, so you could guess that the party is nearby, especially since you saw it get hit with some ranged attack. But I'm going to say not quite sure exactly where the party is.
Okay. I want to keep up with it, because I want to fuck up all these hobs. I'm going to be honest. But then again, Big G is so innocent and small, and...
I mean, do you pick up Big G, just carry him with you?
I'm considering it. I kind of want to.
Lizard baby! Take him and then just run.
I'm going to pick Big G up, and then I'm going to look around to see if the party is anywhere.
Sure. Are you surfacing out of the water to do this? Okay.
Yes.
I'll say you're able to grab Big G and get him to the surface. Looking around, you see Bayor and Celestina nearby. You're actually a little bit ahead of them since you were in the water first here.
Okay.
But
I'm going to plop Big G near a tree and try to wave them down as I have him completely unconscious. I don't know. That's going to be my turn. If the guy, I don't think I'm going to be able to keep up with that guy.
That brings us to Bayor as you see another splash of water, which instinctually you turn and react to for a moment before you realize it's Arguvar servicing with Big G here.
I found him.
Weighing my options on a 50-50 on whether or not he knows Rylin is in one frog or another, he's going to keep running, so he dashes past without saying anything.
Okay.
And coiling his spear back up as he goes.
Excellent. Give me a strength check just to see if you can get this spear unlodged here.
Okay, well, that's a 7.
7. I will say you're able to the length of rope you're able to still dash since you were behind it and you're catching up with it. But you go to tug your spear, the whole Banderhob just sort of rolls in the swamp with you as you go by.
Stupid Banderhob.
That brings us to Celestina's turn.
Question. How far away is the other Banderhob from the one that is currently being dragged a little bit? Or the one that has the spear in it?
The live Banderhob still?
Yeah, the live Banderhob.
The live Banderhob is now... it's gone 60 feet past that dead one. It is currently 120 feet. Well, no, you haven't moved yet, Celestina, so 160 feet away from you.
Then I'm just gonna yell that I'll keep up. Take care of everyone else as I just full sprint 80 feet, trying my best to catch up to this thing.
Okay, go ahead. Give me a roll a d20 for me.
Okay. 5 total.
5.
D20.
So Celestina, as you tear through this bush at a full sprint, you're ducking bushes, you're ducking vines and branches and trying to leap over pieces of the swamp. You see there's a large thicket of brush ahead of you that you're not able to push through. Give me an acrobatics or an athletics check, your choice.
I'll go with acrobatics because I'm good at those.
Okay.
That is a 17.
Okay, easy enough. You're grab a branch over top and just quickly swing your legs over this briar patch and keep up with your full 80 feet of movement, making a good amount of headway on this last Banderhob here. It uses its turn to continue its dash away. So you are now up to... Oh no, back up to... It's 120 feet here, Celestina.
Okay.
Arguvar, it's your turn.
Does Big G look stable?
Big G is. He's breathing normally. It's funny, a lot of his wounds have actually not healed up, but have stopped bleeding.
All right. In that case, I'm going to wake him up. Possible. I don't know if you'd like me to roll something or if I get to just slap him in the face. Whatever gets from A to B.
Go ahead, make a medicine check for me.
I will not slap him. That might kill him. But medicine, that is going to be a 22.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to get him and check primarily, especially with him underwater, able to make sure that he hasn't inhaled any liquid or swamp water, but you're able to quickly resuscitate and bring Bayor or Big G back to consciousness. Big G, just go ahead and roll one of your hit die.
Where am I?
And start with one of your hit die with HP.
Just one?
Yeah.
Oh, one hit die. Got it.
One hit die.
God. Okay. Nice. 1.
Okay.
I'm going to.
I'll take it.
To look this little warrior down. You were swallowed. He ate you. Easily.
Easily.
I'm just going to take in the surroundings. Where am I?
You're going to need to jump on my shoulder as we are going to continue to pursue the beast.
Oh, all right. Let's go.
What can you do?
These right here, baby.
Are they good at what they do?
They can hit. That's all I can do.
I will
I'm sorry.
be fast, and you will use those.
These.
I am then going to just start my pursuit again.
I'm gonna like clutch onto it, like around his neck, like a toddler that doesn't know how to like clasp around the shoulders, brushing the
We are
trachea.
a shambling little cart of lizards. There are just puncture holes in me, just bleeding out, and then you have this little kobold shivering just on top of me.
Y'all have what, 5 HP combined?
Combined within you, yeah.
We're going in.
We got this.
Oh.
And they both scream. They both scream as loud as they can.
Argivar's cry, make sure your aim is true.
I never miss.
Okay, and I'm just gonna keep running, I guess. I don't know if that's a dash or not technically, but I'm just gonna keep moving. Keep moving.
Good to know. I'll say, yeah, you can. I'll say you spent your action kind of getting Big G up, but I'll say you can spend your movement getting back on the road here, and on the chase. Bayor, it brings us to you with a little bit of trouble with your spear being stuck in this Banderhob.
Okay, I'll use my action to remove my spear then. Kick that Banderhob into the blood.
Okay.
Stupid Banderhob.
Yeah, you do so, and as you do, you see the Banderhob rolls over, kind of landing on a little patch. You see its mouth fall open, and you notice Rylin's hand fall unconsciously out of the mouth of this creature.
All right, I'll grab the hand and not the tongue and pull.
You're able to, with a little bit of difficulty, pull Rylin out of the gullet of this Banderhob. And she is, similarly to Big G, she is sticky and covered in this slime, but she is stable. She doesn't appear to have any like critical wound. She doesn't appear to be in like a critical condition. She's breathing normally. She appears to be fine if unconscious.
Okay, I'm going to spend 4 lay on hands to bring her back, at least to just open your eyes.
Sure. You hear the breath catch in her lungs as she opens her eyes and sees you. And you can just see this look of fear and panic start to subside as she makes eye contact with you and kind of gets her surroundings back with her.
I would really want to ask her if she was here, but I'm like, she can swim really flippin' fast. Follow this thing, but she is near dead, so I'm not gonna give her that option. Yeah, because it's the one person with aquatic movement, but no. Okay. How far away is the other Vanderhoop now?
That's gone. Bless you.
He would have been.
He would have been
60 from me right now.
Yeah.
So I can still move to 45 and be within launching range of the spear.
Yeah, you can still move 35 and be within range of the spear. You sort of be a little bit behind Celestina here.
And Arguvar is still behind me, trudging along with his lizard crew.
Yeah, you do notice Arguvar has picked up Big G and he has them on his shoulders as the two are now charging forward through the swamp towards you.
Okay. I tell her to go with Arguvar then and go my 35 feet towards the Vanderhob.
Excellent. Go ahead then. Are you making that attack?
I just spent my action to pull pull her out.
Right. Of course. Yeah, you leave Rylin to catch her breath and to pick herself up as you chase after this Banderhob. That brings us to Celestina's turn.
It's 120 feet away from me.
It is now. Yeah. Oh, actually, yeah, Bayor, it would be further away from you. Because it dashed at the end of its turn, especially if you went back to deal with the Banderhob. So yeah, Celestina, as it is right now, it's 120 feet ahead of you.
All right. Then yeah, I'm just gonna be mad dashing my way towards it. So it's gonna be 80 feet, so it'll only be 40 feet away from me, as I'm just trying my best to keep up with this thing.
And Celestina, you do notice as you give chase now, the Banderhob, its stamina appears to be dwindling as you are gaining ground on it, as it finally appears to be slowing down here.
I have my war pig ready for as soon as I get a chance. I'm gonna basically jump at it.
That brings us to Arguvar.
They obviously haven't learned the pro tip of don't eat and then swim.
That's true. You have to wait like an hour or something.
Yeah, like a whole hour.
Like a whole ass hour. You missed it. I'm going to run. This has been the cardio episode, and I would like to run some more, please.
Get as close as you can.
Dude, there is so many of my organs that I didn't know I didn't need just falling out of me right now. I've lost a kidney, 100%. There's no way I have 2 kidneys after this.
It's back there somewhere.
In the swamp.
Yeah, Arguvar with Big G on your back, you're able to continue the pursuit. As you're moving through this swamp, though, Arguvar, you can notice there's something that's changing. It is less gray in this area. There is more life to the plants and the foliage as you are barreling into this new unexplored area of the swamp after these Banderhobs.
Would it deter my dashing if I made an Arcana check or a Nature check?
I will say no, but give it to me at disadvantage since you're distracted.
Okay. I am distracted. All right. I'll roll Nature.
Okay.
Dupe, and then... All right, so that's going to be a 12.
The plants here are very exotic. There are very unusual species of plant that are growing in this swamp. Not the normal like swamp foliage that you have been passing.
All right, I'm just gonna keep moving then. Cool. Who gives a fuck about some flowers? Let's go kill something. Let's kill the hob.
That brings us to Bayor.
Then yeah, I'm double dashing. Double.
Doubling up to catch up with Celestina. Big G. What's the range on magic missile here?
It is 120 feet.
120 feet. I'll say with the double dash, you'd make it just to the edge of that range here.
Bang, bang, bang. Let's go. Oh, those are really good rolls too. Okay. 11 points of damage.
Excellent. Celestina, you see as these bolts of energy go flying through the swamp, they coast past your head and dive into the water, giving you a decent idea of where this Banderhob is again in this murky water and lighting it up as it impacts.
It's like throwing a firecracker into the pond and seeing all the fish light up.
Exactly, yeah. That brings us to Celestina's turn.
I look back and I probably just see the battered Arguvar and Big G keeping from behind me. And how far away am I from this Banderhob now? I guess 40 feet away.
Yeah, right. Yes, 40 feet.
All right, then what I'm going to do is using that little bit of momentum, I'm going to run using that 40 feet and then just jump and try to stick the war pick into its back, kind of trying to like hold on to it or hook into it.
Okay, sure.
That is a 23 to hit.
Excellent. Go ahead, give me damage here.
That's going to be 9 piercing damage.
Okay.
And then for the bonus action, it's going to be basically just me sinking my heel into it to kind of like reel it back.
I'm going to interrupt you there, Celestina.
Okay.
As you jump through the air, you land down, you bring your war pick down into this Banderhob, and you can see it start to thrash in the swampy water. The two of you are lifted into the air, and you're pulled apart from this Banderhob as you look down, and there are branches and sticks that have grown and have wrapped around your torso and are holding you aloft in the air and are pulling you slowly apart from this Banderhob. You see the Banderhob is fully on, like, thrashing against these roots and these sticks, and you see this wooden prison start to completely form around the Banderhob as it wrestles and tries to burst against it, and then you hear it with a sickening crunch collapse in on itself as you see just this dark red blood seeping between these clump of roots and branches now. As Celestina, you are very slowly brought back down to the ground.
That's a no-no stump right there. That's a bad root.
I instantly run over, like, just kind of before my body can even react. I move over towards the body that got crushed or anything like that. Do I see any, like, looking into the horizon? My bow is out now, as I've just kind of like quickly done that, and I'm just scanning the horizon for what could have possibly done that. Arrow knocked, ready to go. But I'm also looking to be like, oh god, this body, how do I get Yarick out of there?
Make a perception check for me.
That is a 24.
24.
Wait, perception? Hold on, wait. I'm out of it. My bad, 22.
So, Celestina, you grab your bow and you look around you, and the first thing you notice is that you are enveloped in this canopy of this tree, these branches that are hanging down around you. Without noticing it, you seem to have wandered into a different part of the swamp. As you notice as well, there's more color and more life. The vines are green. The branches that hang down have these small, delicate white leaves on them. As you trace it up, and you find yourself underneath the canopy of a massive weeping willow tree. It towers probably an easy 200 feet up into the air, the tallest branches disappearing into the fog and the mist. Its branches hang down, forming this grove almost, that is completely surrounding this area of the swamp. It's probably a good half a mile in diameter, the whole like reach of this tree.
Guys, we found Yggdrasil.
Huge. Oh wait, yeah, we were supposed to find a big tree.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think about that right now because I think, oh god, Yarick's dying. I'm just trying to make my way towards that, like, what happened with that mouse? Is he still, like, in the air, uprooted, or, like, what's happening?
So you see the stump or the ball of roots lowers itself to the ground and begins unforming around this, like, crumpled up form of a Banderhob. You can see now there is a little bit of movement as you see two hands and a very slimy Yarick start to push himself out from this Banderhob's stomach.
I'm here for the arc here for Yarick. He's gonna come out of the swamp being the best captain that ever was.
But I go over to him and I just start pulling his body out of there. checking like as I'm looking just for like any surface stuff, and I'm like, Jarek, are you okay? Come on.
And you can see he is just shaking and just like almost like unable to talk as he looks at you, and he goes,
Okay.
Thank you.
Don't worry. Are you okay?
I think.
Take your time and rest.
And he looks around and he kind of sees and he goes, "What? Where are we?"
I use this as my moment to be for the first time to actually kind of take a glance around. I'm like, I don't know. So I kind of look around, but be careful. I don't know how this is going to sound, but I didn't kill that. As I look to the body, as I kind of gesture towards the body of the bandit, the roots did.
The roots to what?
I look to the big tree. I'm like, any of these plants. I
see him. His glance goes upwards, and he goes, "Oh, fuck!"
Don't. I think it grabbed me, and we were fine. But I think, and I was fine. But please, just as I do this and I look back, do I see anyone coming towards us, or what do I see around us?
Yeah, you do see Arguvar carrying Bayor, Big G, as well as Bayor are now approaching. You actually, all of you are already underneath this canopy of this tree. You're towards the outskirts of it. It's not very heavy, but you can see you already are a little bit past that outer level of the Weeping Willow and inside the sort of inner canopy here.
Do I see Rylin as well with everyone?
She has picked herself up, but she's rejoined the party.
Yeah, I'm just waving everyone down to like, go over here.
I'm gonna jump off of Argivar's shoulder and run towards Celestina and just give them like a huge hug and be like,
yeah, I kind of just drop down to him like, oh my god.
And I go, oh my goodness, are you okay? Is everything? You do fine?
I'm fine. Are you? You are. I kind of look you over and like for the first time, like Celestina's hands are kind of just trembling as I'm kind of just looking at Big G from him. It's like,
I mean, I've been in tougher situations. Strange dreams I had. I saw my brother Garrett. It's awful.
When he says, I've done worse, I'm like, you were eaten. That's the worst thing.
Yeah.
You were swallowed.
No, I've been in worse situations. My brother Garrett, like, he's the worst.
I'm almost ignoring what Big G is saying. I'm probably just looking over his body. I'm probably just checking to see, like, a medicine check just to see if he's okay.
Yeah. Go ahead, make the medicine check for me.
That'd be a 17.
17. Go ahead, heal 1d4 HP as you're able to bandage
I don't want to
up.
roll it. Celestina, can you roll it?
As you're able to bandage up some of Big G's wounds here.
Another one.
Nice. I'm at 2. Doubled my hit points.
Amazingly, though, Celestina, you do notice none of the wounds appear to be like open still. Like you look over expecting to like him to need stitches, but all of the wounds, the biggest ones, are closed and are stable. You do clean them out. You're able to clean them, make sure that it doesn't get infected, and bandage them up, though.
Yeah, simple rubbing alcohol and all that.
Yeah.
And at this point, I imagine I see that Arguvar and Bayor have arrived, and Rylin. I'm like, are you guys okay?
I'm minus 10 hit points right now. I'm at 21, so I'm good. But between Rylin and Arguvar, Arguvar probably looks in worse shape because he hasn't been in the stomach of a self-healing bile.
No, there's still blood like gushing out of me.
Yes.
But I'm still going to look at Bayor as like, why did you roar to wake us up? You should have just said, wake up.
Arguvar, come over here. And I'm going
to. You woke up.
I'm gonna try to bandage
That
up.
feels like a bit overkill, if I'm being honest. I'm gonna walk over.
I'm gonna start bandaging up Arguvar a little bit, like just enough to like help stop all of this bleeding. I'm like, oh my god, are you okay?
Yeah, as he starts bandaging, I'm gonna put my heavy paw on the back of Arguvar, and with my last 5 lay on hands, I'm gonna give him 5.
And as you are all healing each other up and trying to patch each other up, Bayor, there's something that is nagging at the back of your mind about this place. And you look up into the tree, and that's when you notice high up on the trunk of this tree, in the bark, appears to be a very large face. Eyes, a nose, a mouth. It's almost as when you see it, you can't not see it now. And as you have this realization, you hear the creaking of wood and branches as a branch lowers from the tree. There's a wooden orb, a wooden ball at the end of this branch that opens up as it lowers down to the ground, probably 50 feet away from your party. And out steps the figure of a humanoid woman, covered head to toe in leaves, as if they are growing out of her body. Her skin is a light green that almost emanates a soft light from it. And she looks at you all and she goes, "Trespassers. Explain what you are doing here."
Hail.
You are.
I must not mate with you due to my vows.
I walk very tentatively a couple of steps forward and speak in animal, in lion, and say, "I know not of this land, and I am unaware of my trespass. But understand that me and my companions mean you no harm. I lay at your mercy," and bow my head. We are guests, and guests we shall remain for as long as your grace shall allow.
And your kind are no guests in this grove.
Then I very quietly say to the rest of them, "We should leave this place."
Hold on.
I just want to say real quick. I'm sorry. You're just absolutely like radiant, and I just want to let you know that. Like, you're immensely beautiful, and
they're a tree.
Well, there's beauty in nature.
And the woman that popped out of it, there's that one.
I mean,
Or
both.
humanoid that popped out of it.
Peace.
You are destined to marry a lovely other kobold man.
I'm
backwards.
Sorry. I believe that love takes many forms.
Excuse
Not
me.
in a tree.
Creature of the tree. My name is Celestina. Please, I don't know. I honestly have never seen anything like you or anything like you have done. But please, we are just trying to find our way through this marsh, and may we at least rest. Our friends were just taken by these creatures, and they are hurt. We will leave your grotto, but please allow us to rest so that way we may tend our wounds and leave without dying immediately. Please.
I know your kind, mortals. You have been here. You have taken this rest. And you have... And she gestures with her hand, and you see where she's pointing, there is in the trunk of the tree near the base, little ways away, you see there is a large carving in the bark of the tree. And it appears to be a similar image that you found at the camp of the obelisk with a bunch of orbs next to it. And she goes, "You have scarred the flesh of my lover. Tell me, why should I give you safe passage here? When your kind is already proven you do not deserve it."
Wait, is the marking from us? Is this the mathematical markings on the tree, or is this something else? Is this the one at the camp with the guy that's speared?
No, so this is a similar, it appears to be a similar drawing to the one at the camp, a similar image.
Okay. Okay.
But done into this very large willow tree.
I know that you have no reason to believe us, but please. And I reach in and I say, while we were traveling through the swamp, we found these, and I pull out the sketchbook and I say, we don't know about that symbol specifically, but, and I pull out the book, just showing like the page. Whoever was here before us, they are no longer with us. It's the one who marked you. I kind of look towards like Big G or anyone. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Someone please take over.
Step forward and I go, so, what you're saying is that our kind hurt you, right? They hurt your lover. They hurt everything.
Yes. They bore that symbol that you have on your shoulder.
And I'm gonna, is it the adventuring symbol of the...
It is, yeah.
And I go, well, all I can really say is, there's a lot of bad in this world. There's a lot of awful, nasty people. But every single person is capable of good. I mean, I've seen it firsthand. We just want to do what's right in this world. Put
Question.
smiles on people's faces and, just make a better difference. You have no reason to trust us, but if you give us a chance, maybe we could, I don't know, change your mind on that.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay.
Before I speak, I'll allow you to ask your question there.
Oh no, I was just going to say that I was going to ask if I could roll insight just to see if this tree is clearly making any immediate action, or if these are just vague, spooky natural threats, or is there a root coming up behind my head?
Gotcha.
How do I got to be quick on the draw?
Go ahead and make that insight for me, Arguvar. I'm sorry, what was that roll, Big G?
7. I'm a very persuasive person. I just have never passed on a persuasion check.
That was a 22.
22. There appears to be no immediate threat in your vicinity, Arguvar. Big G, she looks you up and down. And she turns her back to you and begins walking towards the tree.
Wait.
And she says, "Yep.
I understand. I understand that what we probably did is not good if you believe we are them. We are not them, but we cannot prove that to you, nor should we try to empathize with a tree." And I'm going to point at Big G bad idea. But we can go back and explain to the rest of our group not to journey here, or scouts. We can return and make sure that nobody else will ever bother you. But if you do not let us go, there will be more. There will be more people coming back here because they think they're losing family and friends. But if you allow us to return back to the rest of those men, we can explain why they will never touch this place again. You have my word, and I'm going to bow forward and have my big helmet kind of I am very sorry for this, and I still mustn't mate with you due to my vows, but I will try my damnedest to make sure that no one will attack your grove again.
Why would you do such a thing?
Well, if I'm being honest, and I'm going to stand up and look around, I believe that if you and I can make a deal right now, no one else has to die. We're here to make sure that this place isn't dangerous. If we don't send people here, it won't be dangerous. We don't need to expand here. We can tell them to stop, and we don't have to die, and we don't have to fight you.
Knowing that she can speak, commune with nature, I'm going to ask if she's familiar with wood rot, the disease that can infect wood and make the burls on the side of the trees.
Yes, I am.
This marking, it is no different. We could be the disease, but we could also be the ones to prevent it from spreading. That is what my companion is telling you. A disease does not seek to hurt, it only harms. We could keep this place just as it is.
Speak of healing, of saving lives. I wonder, how far would you go? How much would you sacrifice to save the life of another? The life of one you hardly know? Or, when your backs are against the wall, will you return to this place?
I look to Yarick. You have seen my actions, and those of my companions. I believe this tree is asking if we could do what it takes. Tell her what we have done for you.
And you can see he's clearly sort of taken aback by this, and as he steps forward and he goes, I was attacked by something in this swamp, and I lost my memory. It's still coming back. It's patchy, but I don't believe I was a kind person. These people, and he turns and points to you, had every right to leave me for dead.
Yes.
And they did not. And she regards his words. And she goes, "You are injured. You are tired. You have one night. Rest. Heal your wounds. We will speak more in the morning. But you will leave here tomorrow." And she turns, and the branches sweep her up and lift her up into the upper boughs of this enormous tree. And as you all set up camp within this grove and tend to your wounds after an eventful day, that's where we're going to call it for the evening. So, thank you all so much for joining us on that campaign, on that session that went 100% as I had planned, and for sure didn't go off the rails at all. We are back 2 weeks from now, let me look at our calendar here. That is not the 1st, that is the 8th of March. We are back in 2 weeks for another episode of Diceburgh. Same time, same bat channel. Join us tomorrow for the Ash and Shade Committee right here, as well as the Minds of Fandelver on Sunday. Follow us on Twitter to stay up to date, and we send out tweets to let you know when we will be live, so you can stay up to date with episodes that way as well. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
In 2 weeks.
Bye.
Don't forget, you can also catch up on our YouTube channel, 5% Chance, at youtube.com.
That's right.
Yes.
Next session's going to be our swimwear session.
It is the beach episode.
Yeah, definitely.
Bikini night.
Bye.
Thanks all. Bye.
Bye.